G Money.
Yo.
Oh man, we in a new space, new place,
new energy.
Nah, I don't believe it on that.
No,
you saying? Let me not talk like that. My man in here, our guest. He believes in energy and all that. I've been watching this man sit Indian style since a kid. Paul, how you doing?
Yo. I'm good, man. Happy to see you. Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
To both of us.
Congratulations to you. Can you turn the monitors down? Make sure it's down. To the right, it says monitors. Yeah, it's down. Okay. I feel good, man. You look good.
It's a nice, we got to be in a nice space, man. This is pretty good.
Well, tell them how this is your first time in here.
I knew you're gonna do this.
Yeah, sucker.
I've been working, bro.
Yeah, DJing and all that.
I've been going in.
Nigga shit at its finest. You had the key since 3 weeks ago.
No. Yeah. You're pushing it. All right, yeah,
It's good to see you, G.
Nah, it's
Shout out to everybody in the building. Bassy, welcome back, man.
Bassy, what up, Bass?
Good to see you. Shout out to
Tati,
yes. We got my man MU in here, Tiny here.
DJ MU, Tiny.
DJ MU.
Trust the process, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy MU birthday is at 12 o'clock today, too.
Really?
So that's why I had to make sure, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
It's my guy right here, you know what I'm
saying?
My man,
I knew him for a long time as well.
So we celebrating that. But we back, man. Flip the Script is back. Shout out to everybody else for supporting. I've been getting ran down in the street every single day, every party, every event. Yo, when next episode coming out? When you coming back? Is you on Flip still good? I'm like, yeah, we still good. Everything is good. You know what I'm saying? Everything is good. We're still here.
I don't know.
Everything is good. There's no issues. It's been a few months now. People think that when we're not together, it's an issue.
Let me just speak about that. Before we get into our guest real quick, because, he's an impatient man, and I don't want to be on the other side of the spectrum. But let me say, shout out to you and the team for being patient. Sometimes at a space, I felt like I wanted to do more. Mm-hmm. And I had to take a break. Dealing with a lot of people. We've been doing podcasts since 2015, 16.
Yeah.
And dealing with all these people and different members and stuff, it got to me. Mm-hmm. Not like that, but I just wanted to go back to my skits and just be back to what I missed. And then I realized that once you put things in position or put people in place, because not one man can run a whole ship. It takes a team. Right. This was a lesson learned. So 7 months, it was a lot of lessons to learn. And, even listening to our guests, recently I've been, because I act too fly. If I know somebody, I'm not listening to their shit. I'm being honest. But then I had to cock caught up. I'm like, oh, this nigga fire. He's saying over this stuff. Because I know him in real life. He fire in real life.
Yeah.
But understanding the motto and teamwork, and I just wanted to put everything on my shoulders. So then you realize that you love your friends and stuff like that, and then you come back and, when we were able to put everything together, it just feels good to be back. So I took, I decided, and you were, you got busy, with DJing, and we decided just to give it a break, and we tried it. And even when we did it, it wasn't just the energy wasn't there.
Yeah.
Like having our own spot. So now that we're back, and I feel good about it. And it never ain't a problem because you stuck with me through thick and thin. Pause. You stuck with me through thick and thin. Nobody else stuck with me like G Money did.
I mean,
Oh!
Yeah, man, we here. It ain't going nowhere. You know what I'm saying?
You ready though?
Yeah, it's time.
G Money!
Yo.
Episode 204.
Nigga, we made it.
We got a special guest.
Wow.
I love these raise his eyebrows. Look.
Salutations.
Oh, man. Let me say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
As a kid, I watched this man work.
Right.
I watch him be stubborn. I watch him remain the same person he is. And in the interview, I'm going to ask him because I do hear growth. There's two persons that witness growth in Cameron and this man right here. As far as the growth, as far as where their mentality was when we were younger, 16 and watching them and drinking Yoo-Hoos in studios and legs folded and stuff like that. And to grow and to hear him talk and, to watch him be a great pillar in the culture.
Facts.
And around the world.
Facts.
And when he left Spotify, we had a deal on the table. I gotta thank this nigga. Round of applause for my man, Joe Budden.
Salutations.
What's up, my man?
That was a great intro, Flip. Thank you. Thank you. G, what up?
What's good? What's
Fuck
good?
is popping?
You still sit with your legs folded? You don't care. You are who you are. Welcome to the podcast, Joe. Thank you for coming, man. You know, for being.
You thought I wasn't coming, huh?
Well,
You thought I wasn't coming.
I knew there was something up because you did say to me that if I do this, it's something about you that I'm learning and I'm watching. I've been listening. Smart man.
What I said to you?
You said, Flip, if I do this, you know, whatever favor I need, you got to do.
I was just saying that.
Oh, that was a tactic.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that. I already feel like I could just call you if I needed
That's a
something.
fact.
I don't need to have a favor in the talk to do that.
I appreciate that, man. How do you feel today? You feel good?
Real good. Real good.
Now, before we get into this, G, and let you pop it off, is there anything that you don't want to talk about?
Oh, no, I don't care.
You sure? Because I don't want
you can ask it. I ain't got to answer it.
Of course. Oh.
Thank you. Somebody who understands, man. Somebody who understands. I don't know. I ain't no
We'll give him credit like
that.
You can't edit what I don't give you.
Oh. Don't talk like that. Don't show your experience.
But he does.
Don't show your don't shit on me like that. Why you doing that?
He knows.
What? You said, now what would you call Skane about earlier?
Don't jump. This is not your show. You're not gonna just.
I'm asking.
You're not gonna navigate it. No.
Go ahead.
You're not gonna navigate it. But I don't want you to get up and walk out and stuff like that because I respect you and you know I consider you a friend. You don't give a.
Why would I get up and walk out?
You can walk out of everything. I watch you.
If you start acting real stupid, but I don't anticipate that happening.
I mean, we've seen you walk out before. The BET, we've seen you just walk out.
He don't care.
You just walked out whenever.
I walk out. I mean, if it's over, it's over. So.
Is it really over? I think that you when you decide to walk out, when is you like Hot 97? You walked out.
That was over.
It was over.
Tax was a little. I had somewhere to be.
Okay.
I slept on the Tax show. Like I was showing up because tax was tax. I slept on what the show was and what the show meant. So I was shaking ass on 38th Street. It was like, I think that was Monday Night Football, Sunday Night Football. It was lit over there. And it was like, oh shit, I got to run do tax shit. Now I've been over there. It's saucy time. So I get the Tax and he got like a real intense interview ready. And I'm like, short, I'm ready to go. Trying to get back over here. I had something set up. So it was just a little bad scheduling, irresponsible.
Oh, you taking accountability? Is this one of your accountability stages?
Yeah, but that was the only time where that irresponsibility manifested on the walkout time. Okay. Every other time, it was time to go.
So the Ebro Hot 97.
That was time to go.
Based off of what, though? The time ran out, or in your mind, I'm not doing this anymore? You see what I'm saying? You can't, was it you
but
decided?
The time runs out if I decide I'm not doing it anymore.
Oh, got it. But when you do an interview, usually it goes a certain amount of...
I was going up there, and let me preface this with, I think at that part of my career, I was over interviews. I had long ago felt like interviews for artists were pointless, like when we have our own platforms. Mm-hmm. That's the important part. Things change. So, but I went up there, had an album coming out. Ebro's my man. Everybody up there is cool. This is right after we had let Marissa go. Mm-hmm. And Marissa still worked at Hot. Mm-hmm. And maybe feelings were still fresh in that moment. And I went up there, and that's what the interview was. Oh no, she wasn't there, but that's what the interview was predominantly about. It's not what I'm here for.
So you wasn't there to talk about that.
So I left.
So you left.
I tried to steer the conversation elsewhere. Mm-hmm. They were stuck there. It seemed like they were pretty passionate about it, and this wasn't the place for that conversation.
Okay, got it.
When you're hosting shows, you could leave too, though. The BET joint, you wasn't being interviewed then. You was hosting it.
It was time to go.
Hey, stop.
It was time to go.
What?
But again, I'm in a, and seeing a lot of times I'd be in that situation. I'm halfway talent and I'm halfway the producer. So I'm leading. I got the ear thing in. Nobody else does. It's loud and crowded. I'm used to that because I'm an artist. Nobody else was in that moment. So They're saying wrap it up. You know, it's the carpet, so it's more people coming.
Right.
Like the next interviewer that's walking got to be ready to go. So they've been saying wrap it up in my ear. Act just didn't know how to wrap it up because he's a huge fan of Migos and how I felt in the moment with some behind the scenes things that had occurred was, yeah, let's wrap this the fuck up. So I wrapped it up.
I think that comes from the hip hop standpoint because a lot of people.
And shout out to everybody involved. That was a great moment.
When you're in in the business and stuff like that, sometimes you're not as excited as others. Can we say that? As excited, it's easier for you to detach yourself. Somebody may, if we had an event, somebody may want to stay a little longer. Like, yo, come on, Flip. Blah, blah, blah. Now I'm out. We can sort of, or you can sort of separate yourself from that. It's not. You could just leave.
The music business did that to me.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Skang, Def Jam, the crew did that to me. You come in and fan of everybody. Once you sign, these are your peers now. It's competition. It's not time to be in awe of other men. It's time to compete.
That's a fact. All right, so we get the interview started. You know what I'm saying? I know. We got a lot of topics to talk about. You know, I
thought y'all started.
I mean,
but we got to process.
I'm in my head saying, damn, they got right to some shit, didn't they?
Hey,
well, we're gonna go back now. We're gonna take it back now. Take our time because we can go into different stuff. You know, the BT stuff, the beefs, the Love and Hip Hops, and you know everything. You know what I'm saying? You know, of course, the podcast stuff, all that stuff we can get to. So we want to go back because me personally, I know it's online that I didn't see too much about. You know, Joe Budden before Joe Budden, the you know, the come up, the history, you know, where you from, things like that. So we're going to start there. So take us back to, you know, Joe Budden before Joe Budden. Where you from, you know, born and raised.
Are you stopping? Oh,
no,
I thought you were doing something. Damn it. My mom would kill me if she knew I had a brain freeze right now. Because I always say I was born in Harlem. My mom said, nah, you was born at that fancy fucking hospital. Where Beyonce had her kids at? What's the name of that hospital? Lenox Hill.
Uh-huh.
Lenox Hill.
Who had their kids in Lenox?
Lenox Hill.
Beyonce.
It's not Lenox. It's Lenox Hill.
Where's that?
That's a thing. That's 60-something street. But it's like a world-renowned or at least really strong hospital. So
you born in
I
Lenox
was
Hill?
born in Lenox Hill.
Harlem.
And then we lived in Harlem. In the projects on 103rd Street, Washington Projects. And then maybe at 4, we moved to Queens.
Oh, shit. Okay.
Moved to Queens, St. Albans.
Oh,
So we went to St. Albans from 4 to, I want to say 13. 14. That's when I got to New Jersey. No, it couldn't have been. Must have been 13.
See, this whole time, I'm just thinking you just Jersey straight up the whole time. I'm thinking like born and raised Jersey.
No way.
What part of St. Albans?
I mean, what part of St. Albans?
What part? I lived in St. Albans, Linden and Farmers.
I'm around the corner.
I was off Merrick. I was right there.
American what?
Oh, God. What are we doing?
You don't remember.
I didn't know the address. I'm not putting it on camera.
You don't live there anymore.
I'm still not putting it on camera.
I respect that. Okay. An old address we can't put on camera.
No.
Respect.
So talk about Queens real quick because we from Queens. I had no idea you stayed in Queens or Harlem. So talk about your experience growing up in Queens and what was that like?
Growing up in Queens. Well, shit. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean by that?
Like, what kind of kid were you in Queens? What were you doing?
Music.
At you said you was there from 4 to 13. So you started music that early?
Listening to it, learning it, recording it, asking for speakers and boom boxes on Christmas. Got a brother that's 5 years older.
Mm-hmm.
So learning the things that he was learning maybe at an early age. He was into some things I won't say on camera, but he was into some other things. And that's really all I remember is outside, going through the normal back and forth with mom that you go through as a kid growing up. But I just remember the music. Just music. School, 118, He was in 238. And I think then I was in 59.
Okay.
Are you kind of ashamed that you don't remember? Are you not talking about your childhood, or you just don't remember?
I remember everything.
You look like you don't.
But what is there to say about it?
I mean, we want to know your childhood. Okay, let me ask you. Was it was just you, your mom, and your brother? Was Pops around?
No. Pops is not around. No.
Do you know him?
At that time?
At that time. Did you know him at the time?
Yeah, I knew my dad.
I mean, did he...
What do y'all think? I was a fucking foster kid?
No!
Holy shit.
Nah, we got...
No.
We trying... like I said, I was going live. We trying to get some insight.
Y'all want like history. Y'all
This is
want
what
like
we do. Yeah. This is what we do. We don't... Yeah.
Okay,
You're so
I got
used to
it, got
answering
it.
questions the way you do.
Yeah, okay, I understand what y'all are saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's kind of unfair that you come with your great podcastial knowledge and try to reverse it on us.
No, I just...
Allow us to run the ship, Joe.
I am. Please. All right,
wanna
come
know
on.
the childhood.
All right, come on, let's do it. All right, so... I got to pick my spots here with what can and can't be said.
True.
But by the time we got to Queens, Dad is not around.
Okay.
It is me, my mother, my brother. It was us three, and my cousin and an aunt, because we're in a house that was inherited by my mom. It doesn't matter, but that's why we're in the house.
Nice.
But Dad is not there, and Mom did a good job covering for Dad. Mom covered for Dad the entire time.
Did you realize, like, you know, you didn't...
No.
Oh, wow.
No. Like, she did good.
Shout out to Mom.
But that's early, though, right? So by the time my brother, my older brother, 5 years older, he had what would be a behavioral problem. So he was wild. So I'm 5 years younger, so I'm just watching that. So by the time I'm 9, 10, he has to go. We got to find somewhere for him to help him. And that place happened to be a program in New Jersey called Kids in Secaucus. It's no longer there. But it was in-house rehabilitation. But it was a family program. And that's why we ended up moving to Jersey.
I mean, what when you say behavior problem, you mean like outside in the street? Like
Yeah.
Not staying in the house? Like
No.
Okay.
And I mean, maybe rage. Behavior problem meaning rage and just anger, violence, temper, low tolerance.
Do you think that he remember when Pops was there? And when Pops
We don't have
left?
the same father.
You don't have the same father?
No, we don't have the same
But how
father.
about his father? Like, do you think it was lack? You know, a lot of times in our neighborhoods at a young age, we tend to cry out when we don't really have even though Moms is there, when we don't have a man figure around. Do you think that could...
I think that could play a part. I think upbringing and your parents and their relationship plays a large part in some of your views and ways coming up. Yeah, I agree with that.
Nice. So when he went to Jersey, did those programs do anything?
Oh, so what I was going to was I'm sorry, not to cut you off.
Cut you off. I'm sorry.
What I was going to was by the time I was 12, 13, well, from 10, because this was a family program and I had to share and be transparent and vulnerable, and there was all types of groups for the siblings of people in this program, because you had to be a witness to some shit. So if they fucked up, y'all got to be fucked up, right? So that's where writing came into play at 10. Because you're writing your experiences, you're writing, basically keeping a journal, but a lot more introspective than a journal would be. And that was a weekly thing. So now you introduce that at 10. But by 12, 13, mom probably knew that dad needed to pop up now. Dad needed to pop up. And he was able to. He's out of jail. He's not on whatever he was on. So what a time for Pop to pop up at 13, 14, when now I'm manifesting into whatever wild shit my mom could see at the time. And maybe she was just a little jaded in that. I don't know. Can't speak for her because she had to raise my brother and that went a certain way. And I guess I was always pretty rebellious too. So, yeah, that's when Dad popped up. I'm on a rant now, so go ahead.
No, it's okay. It's okay. So when Pops, so Pops was incarcerated.
Pops was in and out of jail. Yeah.
Okay, in and out of jail, but it was easy for him to come back around because he, the relationship. Your mom was able, because we didn't have cell phones back in those days, right?
Mm-hmm.
So moms were still able to get in contact with him. She knew where he was at for him to pop up, or he just popped up out of nowhere.
Well, no, I don't think they were. They were always in touch.
Got it. Okay. Got
it wasn't estranged, but through jail, through addiction, through some other things.
Understood.
Story plays out that way, but they were always in touch.
And she never tried to downplay him.
Never
to you guys.
Shout out to Mama Love.
Never.
Mama Love real quick. Please.
Never done it.
A lot of mothers.
But that's why.
Don't interrupt Mama Love. Are you crazy? Don't ever do that, man. Yeah, man. I hope she see this and curse you out,
you
man.
You so silly, man.
Go ahead, Joe. What you say? That's why what?
I don't remember now.
See?
I don't remember now.
So
but that's why it was easier for, that's why I don't have that story. A lot of people are angry with their dad that wasn't around early or have these resentments. It's like, fuck you, it's up forever. I see that story a lot. Right. I don't share in that because I wasn't angry at the reception.
Right.
She held it down for him. I kind of was glad to have somebody around to kick it with. I knew some shit was probably going on too at that age. So yeah, no, that felt good.
I heard one of your earlier songs. This week since we had you on the show, I've been kind of going through the catalog and just brushing up on some things. You know what I'm saying? I heard a line where you said, "Middle child, wish me and my brothers were closer." I forgot what song it was, but since we're on that topic down,
my brother. Damn, what the fuck song?
I forgot what song it is. Early on though, probably like the first mixtape or first album joint. So at what point did you kind of feel like you and your brothers kind of had a falling out?
Well, we never had a falling out. We just weren't as close as you would think two brothers growing up in the same house would be.
Right.
Now, I'm old enough to know now that 5-year age difference is a generational gap. But that's where fights come in amongst brothers sometimes, where you get to go out at 18 and I'm 13 living under a different set of rules that mom has implemented in the house. Mm-hmm. So that's just what it is now. And you older, so you into different things. I'm 5 years younger. My son now is 21. His younger brother is 5 years younger. I see it. I protect against that. Yo, you coming out, bring your little brother.
Nice.
I know how you feeling. You got your little car, you fly, you want to be alone, but bring your little brother. You just need more of that. And in my household, I don't think him and I had enough time to do that because of what he was into and what I was into.
You were into music. When did you get into music at a young age? When did you feel like you wanted to start rapping?
But that's not music. You just said two different things.
I did, but you can fix it.
Well, which one you want? You want music
Both.
Or you want rapping?
Both.
Well, my parents would tell you that I was banging on pots and pans when I was 3. I had recognizable songs, so they bought me a drum set. I guess ever since then, they would try to, they or my mom would try to insert me into these musical, so it was piano classes. They did buy me a drum set. Music class in school, saxophone, clarinet, all of that shit. But I would later learn that that's just in my blood. My dad was a drummer, had a band. They was hot in the projects.
Stop hating. Stop hating.
That's not hate.
I mean, that's what you're saying. Don't breeze past it. Shout out to Pops, man. Damn.
Yeah. Why are you trying to paint that as hate? You know how hard it is to get hot in the projects?
It's very hot. That's what I'm saying. That's why I want to.
No, they was hot, and he was good. But again, that's that DNA, that shit that's just in us. I see that in my son. Now, mind you, I had separation from my son too. Now, my oldest, So he popped up, and I just saw all the same shit like I'm sure my dad saw me. He couldn't go nowhere without a speaker. Nowhere. Everywhere. Same as me bringing my laptop to the strip club. I got every speaker in my house. I have way too many speakers in my house. We're just music. Music is in us.
Got it.
My youngest son, he dancing to all the little YouTube cartoon songs. On beat. Singing them shits. Oh, he's the head of the music class. 4 years old. It's just in us. You were saying.
You were saying when did he get into the music?
Let me tell you something. I'm gonna tell you this.
Oh, so yeah, that's what you asked.
Yo, hold on. GT, I got this.
Oh, so that way I didn't finish. So that was the music part. Rap comes in at 14 years old. There, I'm done.
I'm gonna ask you again. Allow us to run our show.
Yeah, you want me? I'm answering the questions.
Your expertise is oozing. Okay, it's oozing.
I'm getting comfy now.
Okay. So
I'm getting
14,
comfortable.
14, it was.
14, we rapping.
But that came from
my fault.
that came from you starting to write from the journal. You said that kind of was like the start of you putting words together and shit like that.
Yeah, I mean that's where writing came from, and I guess that's really important before you start talking about rapping because it's writing.
Right.
Like as a rapper, rule number one is what do you have to say? So writing was important. But at 14, I'm in Laurinburg, North Carolina. High school. Boarding school.
Mm-hmm. Hold on.
It wasn't but 12 girls at the school. You would eventually find something to do at the school. And this school was like I later learned, troubled kids just from across the country. So this is where I learned how to fight, get high, fuck, and rhyme. We were singing. I had a group. Shout out to the niggas that was in the group. But yeah, that's
Earl went to that school, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at you.
Yeah.
Look at you a little bit.
I ain't gonna lie. Shout out to Bino. Shout out my man Bino.
Shout out to Bino.
I can't.
You called a bunch of niggas about me, man.
I can't. Shout out my nigga Bino. Yeah, nigga.
You called Bino.
Yeah, nigga.
Oh my God.
No, we just had to know because you know what? You do interviews, and when you do interviews, I want to go from a different angle.
I got it.
I got a lot of respect.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
But at the school, we started getting high, and when you was getting high, them niggas was just rhyming, and they was pretty good. There's a nigga named Lamont. I want to say he was from Long Island. He was my roommate at one of those times, and he just used to puff and go. I was just sitting, all right, and then you just start. And I got kicked out to school and went back home. And my best friend's cousin, who was older, was a rapper in Jersey City, Dutch, rest in peace to Dutch. And he was probably the nicest dude in Jersey City to me. So now I'm just coming back from the school with my ability to rhyme, my ability to write from my 10-year-old stint, and I get to now observe some more shit. So I got nice quick. I ain't gonna hold you. I was nice fast.
You breezed past. I remember something back in the days, but you breezed past it. But you know, I know I can ask you. You said getting high. At one point, you was addicted to certain things back in the days. I heard. Do you? How were you able to? How did it start? Did it start there, or being in the street, being outside? Was it a female? Like, how do those things start? How do somebody become an addict or get addicted to something? You know, is it from the first time you try and then you get hooked on it? Like, I don't think you don't really. I don't really hear you talk about it. Back in the days, you did, but you know, in the recent podcast journey, you don't really.
Well, that's another one of those things about hip hop, right? Like when was hip hop ever the space to have those discussions? Like even me coming in having those conversations when I was introduced was very outlier, that was the anomaly. Like my story coming in was different than anything I had ever heard in hip hop before. Hip hop was always, we sold drugs. My story was I tried to sell drugs and was really, really bad at it. So I got on them. My dad got on them. Mom got on them. When you get older and you understand how America worked in the 70s and before, but the 70s and 80s and what went on, all of it is by design. I had a real bad pill problem. This is recently as, not that recently, like 10 years ago now. But that was the toughest thing in the world to kick. When I say pills, I mean all the pills. Perk 30s, Xannies, fucking Mollies, anything in pill form. Thank God that this is before that fentanyl nasty era. Oh, I couldn't imagine. But that was tough. You get older and you see all these docs about the Sackler family and what they were doing with the perks, with the hospitals, big pharma. You got to learn about those things. So I mean, I'm always down to have those conversations, but where do you have them today?
It's inspirational though, because like I said, I remember back in the days being at Miller's studio, hearing the stories. I mean, 16, Bass, we was around. So understanding it, and then when I look towards it, the best person to talk about addiction would be you, because you kicked it, you became a millionaire, and you became successful. So, but I don't see you talk about it, so I'm not coming at you. But
you know what though?
Is it a sensitive thing?
It is
sensitive?
It is, and
Okay,
and I take that back, because today in hip hop, you have these conversations, but they're mental health conversations.
What do you mean by that?
They're cousins. They go together.
I don't agree with that, Joe. You can't.
Please, the floor is yours.
So, well, I'm not as articulate, so allow me to spit it in layman's terms. Because I feel like that's an excuse. What I mean is that addiction to drugs is addiction to drugs, and mental health issues, to me, is mental health, because a lot of things can cause mental health issues. And I feel like a lot of people, not yourself, they try to intertwine a lot of things in one to sort of not be able to look within themselves, or sort of not talk with something that they're trying to sweep under the rug. And I notice a lot of people do that. They equate a lot of things into one and make it a broad spectrum, or overall thing. Like, it's just when you have to sometimes get into the crevices of the situation to understand how things came to be. So if we're talking about drugs and you just say, and we're talking about mental health, I'm gonna think that mental health meaning that me personally, I'm not gonna equate it with he was on drugs. I'm gonna say that he probably experienced something, some sort of trauma and stuff like that, and I'm going to be sucked into that and listening. A lot of times people don't really get into details. They don't like to face their trauma.
You know, a long-winded nigga. Boy.
I am. But you caught on.
Well, let's get into the crevices of it, just like you said. Have you ever been depressed?
I don't answer questions. Yeah, I have. I have, yeah. Been depressed.
Mild
depression?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been depressed. Nothing too crazy, but you know.
It sounds mildish.
Yeah, mild.
And I'm only saying that from that long monologue you just gave. I think anybody a little more familiar with depression would have a broader understanding and would equate the two. Let me help you. If you're stuck in a deep, dark depression, every second living here could be a difficult one, right? Those people typically find ways to feel better, to self-medicate, to bandage things, all while not telling people what's going on. And in a lot of those instances, it's drugs. Now, do you see how they go together?
Got me. But I can still get you too. So I see how it goes together. You got me. That was a good one. Yeah, that was good. At the same time, do you see my point?
No.
You don't.
No.
My point is, I'm a man that likes to be nosy. I want to know a lot of information. So when somebody, I feel like a lot of people, and mental health is something serious, and a lot of us in our neighborhoods don't speak about our issues and talk. A lot of in our community are not comfortable talking about mental health.
Mhm.
So I feel like recently, as when I got older, people have been saying mental health, and in my opinion, they have been making it a broad spectrum. I didn't look at it as you pointed out to me, and I appreciate that. And maybe I should be a little more conscious, because when we interviewed the Zeke guy, and I said, "Yo, you crazy," remember? And remember you was there, and I'm like, we use that all the time. And he said, "You don't know what somebody's really going through. So say that I'm crazy, it could affect me in any way." So it's a lot of things. I'm ignorant.
It's okay.
But I'm learning. I have
okay.
a friend that
It's
taught me.
okay.
Thank you.
This is what I'm
I
here for
understand.
you.
I appreciate it.
I'm here for you.
But I'm still nosy. So that's why I guess me being nosy allows me, or once, I want to go into it a little deeper and find out what's the reason and stuff. And people sometimes are not comfortable talking about it. So it's really me. It's not them. I just try to manipulate the situation to make it about somebody else. But I'm a manipulator. It was really me.
No, just be sensitive to people's.
Yes, you told me that. Thank you. Please remind me. Please say it, because you did tell me that on live, and it helped me look at things from a different perspective. And sometimes, as a self-proclaimed manipulator, we tend to want to not look at our manipulation tactics.
Okay.
Thank you. So
Did he answer the question or no?
He did.
He answered it? Okay.
I just got to come back because this guy is good. He's good. But
But your first question was, how did he get addicted? That's what you were saying.
very
right?
good. Thank you.
That was the question you was asking in the beginning.
And
How
I
did he
think
get
that, did it start at the school? Did it start when you went to NC?
Yeah, it was the school for me. It was the school, and I'm not blaming, because it wasn't the school. It wasn't the school. Like, I have an addictive personality. You can become addicted quickly. I don't gamble the way my brain would like to gamble, because my brain would start gambling, right? So you combat those things. But once I got to the school, the roommates, they were smoking shit. They were smoking different types of shit. And that's how we started. And then you wanted to make that high last longer. So that's where cigarettes came into play. Nasty, disgusting. But that's how that's birthed. And then you go home, and there is no more. You're looking for the same. So then it's wet. Then it's dust. And it really don't get too much crazier in my story than wet and dust, at least until pill time.
Mm.
But when you on these things and they kick your ass, like, if you get low enough, you'll stop. And when I stopped, my life changed dramatically. So who would ever want to live like that again?
You were homeless at one point, correct?
And no, that would be a misrepresentation of my fine job that my mother did. I wasn't homeless. My mom said, "You're either going to live like this or get the fuck out." And I got the fuck out, and nature won for a little bit.
Where did you live? Where did you stay? You was in the streets?
I maybe slept in the park twice.
You think you could do that
Yeah,
again?
it's probably
Do you remember that
I would
feeling?
never do that again.
I mean, of course you wouldn't, but do you
Would
think if it
never
was a
do that.
challenge somebody gave you, would you be able to do it again? Would you be able to sleep outside for 24 hours?
Duh, of course. You could too. Humans adapt. That's our superpower. We're adaptive.
This guy's pretty good.
What?
Yeah.
I can't get him.
It's true.
You get him?
I'm gonna get him.
He's
Yeah,
pretty
yeah.
good though.
He is. Chill, G.
Not yet. It's
I
early.
know you like it.
Nah,
Stop. He is very good.
But why y'all trying to get somebody? Like, what is that even?
But it's not about that. You know what it is to speak to somebody. It sharpens your skills. It sharpens. I'm learning.
Oh man,
You're good.
And you know what's funny? This is what's funny, right? Typically, I don't do podcasts. I don't even do them. But when I do them, it's because it's my man. Most times. So like the last 2 or 3 podcasts I've done, I've been like super short, super dry, super just, I ain't really with this shit. What the fuck are we talking about? Because you go to these podcasts and they just start asking about niggas. Niggas and the clickbait, salacious, They get into that. And I'm That's never been me. You talking to the guy that hated promoting his own albums. Like, that's just not, I'm a different introvert. So I'm off on a rant again. But
that's good though. This is why we started off with, after we started off.
Yeah, no, I like it. And I was saying that to compliment you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
And how y'all are going about this.
Thank you.
And to compliment myself and how I'm.
Well, you're doing a good job.
Because Flip is my man. I'm here. I'm here trying to. I mean,
and that's what Skane told me. Skane said, I forgot that how much you was around, and you start off. He understands our tactic, and he said we got him comfortable that he started talking that he had to remember. Like, hold on, I'm gonna be real with you. I had to sit with Skane.
Edit the
for
joint, right?
3 hours editing stuff out. After I had to sit with him. He just said he was just talking. He said, nobody get me like that, Flip. And he said, I'm like, Skane, it's okay, that's good. But I had to respect him because who he is. We get into that later.
Yeah, but Skane also ain't the sit in front of the camera. Most of the exec dudes ain't with sitting
I felt
in front
good
of the
though.
camera.
Joe, I had him. Oh, I had him.
And why would you even want to do that to Skane?
No, not like that. What I mean, had him. I mean, that's one of my favorite interviews because I've been watching Skane since a child, and to have him open up like that, and it meant something to me. That's why I didn't mind because I understood how hard it was for him. I mean, starting off, and he told me that on the phone today when I spoke to him. He said, "You have a way of doing it, and I don't understand, but." And I said, "Yeah, I edit some stuff out for you. You owe me one."
Today, that's one of my pet peeves. I can't stand doing the interview, and then afterward, the niggas got 90 edits for you to make. It sends smoke from my head.
So when should we not edit? Like, it have to be. I mean, out of respect for when we have a rapport, I wouldn't mind. But I think, man, a lot of people overdo it. They overdo it with the edits.
How I run my shit. All right, because people gonna listen to this shit. Let me word myself properly. I'm also not guest based. So if I'm talking to you, we have a rapport, or I would like to get to know you better. So in that business model, I allow all edits. I want the space to remain free, calm, and artsy. Everybody feel free. And in that, later on, there's a trust that will take out anything that anybody is uncomfortable with. I give their team, hey, send notes back, because I don't want that. I'm not the guy that's going to put the salacious bullshit. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to have a genuine conversation with somebody and attract people that way.
And that's what keeps the door open. It keeps the door
if you
open.
look, I'm in the longevity game. I'm in the long game.
Got it.
I'm not here for the short-sighted, quick YouTube bump or the advance from over here, and I'll work back. I've been out of that game.
You're a good guy. I like you, man. You're a nice guy. You're all right. I ain't give it to him yet. Yeah. So, you know what's funny about him? He's very analytical, so he's analyzing and seeing, but we can't. That's why he have the shades on, so we can't see what he's looking at. But he's analyzing.
I'm looking at y'all.
Yeah. Looking at y'all. La.
I've been wearing shades on my pod as of late.
Mama Love told you if you didn't get your act together, you went outside.
Yeah, but it was for a little bit.
When did you start recording music, though?
Oh. When did I start actually recording music? Well, had to find somewhere to record, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not thinking nothing about recording music. Like, I'm writing rhymes to step in the cipher and destroy. I'm writing rhymes so at lunchtime, I kill everybody. At this point, I'm driving to different hoods, hopping out. It was cipher time. That's what was going on back then. I wasn't thinking about actually recording something. And mixtapes, we was on blends. We was on blends in Jersey City at this time. It wasn't freestyles and all of that. That came later. So I had to meet somebody named Maher. That was his name, Lebanese. But his DJ name eventually became DJ Quest. And he had some equipment, and he had records. And I used to go down there to his basement and start tearing shit up. Wu-Tang beat, Mobb Deep beat, Gravedigger beat, this beat, any beat. I'm just tearing them up at this point. So now I'm tearing up beats. He putting them out. They going out somehow. Maybe not too many people hearing them, but at this point, it's our open mics in Jersey City. I done popped up to a few of those now. In a little while, I was probably one of the best in town.
Mm. At this time now, who was around that we might know about now that was around you back then at that time when you're coming up? Like, who's some people that we might know now that's signed or that got a name for themselves now that was around Jersey City that you were seeing in ciphers or you seen nobody?
Nobody. It's me.
Hmm.
The lone survivor. Fuck's you talking about?
You sure? You sure?
I'm positive. I mean, since me, no. Who would y'all know? Y'all would know. Jersey City, we had Double X Posse. Not gonna be able to do it. You might know that, and you don't know that. Wow. See, so we done. If you don't know that, then don't worry about it.
So you started killing all the beats. But what age are you at this point?
I'm killing these beats. I'm what? 15, 16, somewhere around there.
Okay. Now, 15, 16, killing these beats. Mixtapes?
Yeah, they're just mixtapes, still ciphers, open mics. And it wasn't until, then I went away. That's pretty important. Then I went away at 17, 16, somewhere around there. My memory's bad, but somewhere around there. That's when I went to Newark Renaissance House, sat there for a little over a year, maybe a year and a half, something like that.
What did you do?
What do you mean what I do?
When you went away, like you said, is it like, did you go away? Is it like what do you mean you went away? Where did you go? Is prison?
I just said where I went. I just said the exact name of where I went.
You did, but I'm saying now, when I asked you what did you do, to me, when you say I went away, I think that you went away to jail or somewhere.
No, Flip. If you're asking me, are you Vlad?
No.
Are you trying to Vlad me?
How?
Okay, Flip.
All right, let me Google. Say the name again. You're right. You're right. You did say the name. Say the name again. Say the name again for me. I'm sorry.
Newark Renaissance House. So listen, I see where you're trying to get to. We'll get to it. At that time, I was doing B&Es and other bullshit, right? And the people I was doing them with, they were coming to get picked up. So I went there and sat. I figured in the event that I was being searched for, this would look nice. And I needed some help.
Oh, I see.
So I went and sat up voluntarily, not mandated, voluntarily for like a year and a half. That part of the story is important because it's back to writing. It's more writing time now. Rid of all distractions, not outside, it's writing. So by the time I pop out of there, I'm well strapped for whatever. Jump in.
So, Newark Renaissance House, they serve individuals, families, and the community through innovating programs that treat disease. Okay, got it. Yeah, I understand. And you decided to go in there.
Well, I would have to see what that is today. I'm talking about 96, 97.
Hey, don't play.
I'm just saying. I'm talking about 97.
Don't do that. Apologize.
I just want to be
That's
clear.
wrong. Because now you could have just helped them and showed them there was a place. You just gave them a plug. How there's a place that you sat down and you got your mind right and you wrote and you came out a beast. And now you say you got to see what it is today.
No, I have to see what your website says today. My voice is strong. Your platform is big. You want to check things before you speak them into the
It's
universe.
a nonprofit community-based organization. It said mental health and lifestyle issues associated.
Yes, same place.
Got it.
Same place. Good.
Now, real quick about when you're in there, is it people that's coming around? Is it like a program, like people talking to you and stuff like that? Is it something like that, or they don't really bother you?
No, there was structure and discipline
Nice.
in there.
Salute.
But people were mandated there. Bunk beds and shit. But it was all right. It wasn't the worst. Food wasn't the best. But I mean, they had good people there. Good people there. Again, meeting more people from just different walks of life now. In hindsight, all of these blessings early that you just don't know about. That's why life is so great. You get to look back like, oh, shit, that's what was happening. Like, that's what was happening. More rappers are in there. Damn, I wish I could remember everybody's name. I would shout you niggas out. Y'all know who y'all are that was in there, though.
And then you came out.
And I came out,
You was there for
and
a
I
year,
got with
year and a half.
Dub B. I was introduced to Dub B, white boy, Ezra. Shout out to him. Still speak to him today.
How you
He's
introduced Dub?
Somebody said, yo, there's this white boy, and this is in 96, 97 again. Yo, there's this white boy in Bayonne who is just making beats on a computer, and you can record at the computer, and he mixes at the computer. Today, that sounds like everybody does that. But in 96, for somebody to be doing that was next level genius shit. So, yeah, and his beats were hard. Match made in heaven. So I started rapping on his beats. And that turned into a few different things, all right? Like, I was in a group. I was finding myself, and he was finding himself. But you could record and lay and have original music instantly.
Nice. And let's not forget you was in a group. What was the group name?
Oh, I don't remember. I was in a bunch of different groups. What you want me to do? I don't.
This was at an important stage in your life, and you don't remember. Okay, you don't remember.
No, because the group part wasn't that. Well, one of the groups that wasn't that important.
How many people was in that group that you don't remember?
Well, which time?
The first one.
Oh, the first one. That was like a lot of people. That was a lot of people. Very important experience.
Was it your
Because that group was just comprised of the dopest dudes from our neck of the woods in Jersey City. Well, they was on the hill. I just used to come up to the hill. So it was one group and another group. It was me. Damn. And it was like two other people, all young, same age. And when we came together, this was the franchise, I want to say. I want to say that. That's what that was.
That's good. Also, so you with Dub B.
So that's more high school talent show type shit, on the block, rhyming, battling. That's still all of that. But when it was Dub, we was making joints or trying to make joints or learning how to make joints. I had joints. I was recording records.
And we skipped this a little bit. You were battling. When you say you actually battled, did you battle anybody besides later on in Hollow and all that? But did you battle anybody? You know how people say, yo, I battled them when I was younger. Did you battle anybody in the industry, any up and coming at all? Was it like that?
Nah. I used to say I battled DMX, but that wasn't really a battle. I was battling. He wasn't battling. In the battle circuit, I battled Idea. Rest in peace, Idea.
Rest in peace.
He tore me up.
Wow.
Tore me up, sent me on my way home.
And you thought you battled DMX?
Yeah, I thought I did.
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace to X.
Right.
And even that still sounds wild for me to say rest in peace to X.
Was he was just like, was it back and forth? Or was it like you was just rapping and then he
No, it was me just rapping. But he was supposed to rap, but this was on they shot Belly. They shot Belly outside of my mom's building, which was Jersey City. So well, one of the scenes in Belly. So I caught DMX on one of them nights, but he had to go shoot a scene. And that's where I got, damn, whose number did I get? Swiss Uncle, TK. Anyway, I don't remember, brain freeze, but I got somebody's number, and that's how we stayed in touch. And Swiss was trying to put me in a group with Cassidy and Dragon. That was super early. That's before y'all came into play. All y'all on Top guys.
So he tried. Why you didn't join the group, Cassidy and Dragon? Did you?
It just didn't work. I didn't even learn about that until a few years later. I was just coming around rhyming. Maybe Swiss had plans. This before anybody was anybody.
Got it. So then you actually making music, and how did the mix? Is this around the time where the tape that you guys made, the songs that you guys made, got into the hands of Webb, and is this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Webb heard those songs.
Do you remember the songs that was on there?
Not at all.
Because I know Webb brought it to Skane, and that's what...
It was a song called If You Thug. It was a song... I don't know what Webb heard, yo, to be honest with you. He might have heard a couple freestyles, too. Because I had rhymed over a couple... He might have heard some of that. Whatever he heard, I was nice. So, I mean, who cares what he heard?
You met Webb and he got the CD, or... He got the CD.
No, Webb got the CD from Cutmaster C.
Yes.
He got it from Cutmaster C in his car. So. Yeah, Cut said that.
Yeah.
It's
all right. He said it on here. All right, relax, man.
I'm just telling you.
I just want to make sure. You. Yeah. So he got the CD from Cut.
He got the CD from Cut, and then the rest was history from there.
We'll say it was history. It was. Webb brought it to Skane. Slow down. Don't rush my family's organization. I got the on top tattoo here. Don't rush my family's organization now. Okay? Don't do that.
Get your shit off, man.
So Cut gave it to Webb.
Mm-hmm.
Webb heard it. Webb brought it to Skane, and then Skane brought it to, I think he said, is he telling me Kevin Lyles? Or? He brought it to somebody, he said, and they listened to it, and they was like, yo, we got to bring him in. How long, from when Webb got the CD, did they call you inside? How did that whole thing happen?
You're a little young ass. You wasn't outside. You skipping mad parts of shit.
So help me. That's what I'm saying.
You told me to shut up. Yo, fucking no. It might have happened like that, but I didn't get a deal like that.
That's what Skane told me today.
No, I didn't. That's how I got my deal, but that wasn't the order. That wasn't the timeline, right? So if C gave it to Webb and Webb gave it to Skane, at some point there was a conversation of development, because them old songs, they wasn't getting nobody signed. And I still really didn't know how to make a record. Now I'm in New York. Now we in Queens. Now it's mixtapes. Mm-hmm. Now I'm kind of here, and we on the Ave. We fucking, these niggas. We riding everywhere.
Miller's house.
Mm-hmm.
But we moving, and you could just feel that culture. So I saw why it was so important to them. Them niggas used to stress, now you need a new verse for every tape. You need a new verse for C. You need a new verse for Boom. You need a new verse for... I'm like, oh, you niggas lunatics. Well, actually, I wasn't saying that back then. I was just going.
You was a little stubborn. I remember you being stubborn, but yeah.
Well, I've always been that, but not with the rapping.
No.
You couldn't do the amount of rapping that I was doing back then.
No.
You wasn't. I wasn't stubborn there. So yeah, anyway. So yeah, that was happening, and we was making music. Now we was making music. It's on top, and we making music. We had Miller's house, we put it together, and they got a spot. Then we was at Terry House, and we was cooking. And then in that batch, at some point, Skane took to Cav. And then that's how that deal happened.
But during that time,
But I had to go get hot. I had to go tear the streets up. I had to go to work. It wasn't just so transactional that way. I had to go do some shit. Everybody did their job. at that point.
So you still doing? You still running around doing shows? You still?
Wait, whoa, shows.
I mean, like,
where do the shows come up?
He didn't do shows.
Well, I mean,
what's
no,
a show?
Not the. Well, you said earlier you was doing. Well, early on in the career, before this, you said you were doing showcases like that. So now, just now you say you're outside.
That.
No, I'm sorry. So I want to know like what you mean by when you outside now. Like,
Yeah,
as
don't
far as
correct my
the
man
artist,
like that.
the artist aspect of it. You saying you outside now? You
Now I'm outside with Webb, Nitty. We just moving. Rest in peace, Bo. The guys. I mean, I don't want to go through the guys, but you just moving. It's now more exposure. Remember earlier I talked about meeting people from different walks of life? So now I'm exposed to just people from a different walk of life. So we are moved. I'm in a vehicle now. That's what I mean. We are in cars, traveling, seeing the town, soaking all of that in. That's what I mean.
So Webb and Nitty bring you around to different networking situations.
We was just moving. We was all over. Hey, we gonna go. It's a tournament over here. Run around. You know, Webb. Hey, we're gonna run over here to the projects over there.
Fact. That's a fact.
Yo, real quick, we're gonna run and basically just running around. Running around.
Yeah, running around. You know, Webb, you know, and Nitty, shout out to them, man. I mean, there were some good guys to be around. Well, gotta be careful what I say. Because I don't want my phone to ring. Yeah, okay. All right. They were good guys to be around. Meaning, like, people liked them and some of them did it. Oh, yeah. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I had no idea about none of that. That's the beauty of ignorance. And that's the beauty of being young and
you didn't know anything about them, you didn't know.
No, about that.
Got it.
About that part that you're saying about them being liked or not liked.
Got it.
I didn't know nothing about that.
Got it. Okay.
I'm so thankful that they allowed me to be me.
That's a fact.
Like, they never made me uncomfortable in that. I mean, they laughed at because I was dancing and shit. They didn't understand Jersey niggas dancing to music. That's funny. But yeah, they allowed me to just focus on music and music only.
Shout out to Webb and Nitty.
Right.
When at the time, like, and during this whole situation, I mean, you know, it's Clue. You around Clue, right? I think you with Envy as well, right? He had
Envy
as well.
On Point. Not yet.
No, On Point, not yet.
All right.
Yeah, and On Point has nothing to do with none of this at this point. I haven't met On Point. On Point comes in 06.
Yeah. So you was around them and
we in 01.
Bring us to was Stack around? Was you around Stack? Did you know
not
Stack was
in,
around?
not
the
in
time?
01 and 02, no.
Yeah. So now bring us to the point where Pump It Up and recording the Focus and
You just asked mad different shit.
man.
What the fuck are you asking me?
Bring us to that point of that album and putting that together. Is it hard? Do you want to forget it?
You got your first album, you have your whole life to make. So I'm with the same producer that I told y'all about that I first met making the beats in Bayonne, New Jersey. We have a chemistry there. Like, we had records. My album was done. I was hot. I needed a record. I needed a single. That's what happened with Pump It Up. I needed a single. I've told this Pump It Up story so many times.
Of course, okay.
I needed a record. Saw Just Blaze. Made the record.
Yeah, we heard, okay. We don't got it. Because, Rock the, it's when you Rock the Mic 2, they passed on it.
Yeah, they
right?
passed on the beat. But I don't know that at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Ignorance is great. I don't know that at the time. At the time, he played a beat. He tried to skip past it really quick. I was like, no, bring that back. It was the scenario shit to me. I thought I was about to do some real hip hop shit. I had no idea that would turn into what it turned into.
Let me.
But I had my record.
Yeah, let's stick to that real quick.
6 months later, the album was out.
I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
I'm finished.
Got something?
You went to Jay in a studio to get a verse. Skane told me that Jay-Z charged $250,000. Now, when I was speaking to Skane, I said, I heard this story, and I called him today, and I said, I want to understand that. Do you feel like he didn't like, because we know Jay, do you feel that, did Joe do something when he met him in the studio to kind of rub him the wrong way, to offend him? Was Joe, because I remember you said that Jay at the time was your favorite rapper at the time. I think I saw something, I remember watching a video you saying that. So I asked him, do you think Joe might offend him? Was he a little bit too overzealous for him to charge that price? Because like Skane said, I remember where I was at. I remember where I was standing when Jay told me that. He said, I told Jay, like, Jay, it's me. And I said, do you think that, because it's going to be a two-part question, I'm long-winded. Do you think that Joe did anything to warrant that price? He said, no. Why do you think Jay, and I'm asking you the question, why do you think Jay put that big number that was more than half of your budget, the budget for the project?
I don't think it was a big number. I think that was his number. That's my number to rap on this new artist remix. It was just big in my world, but it wasn't a big number.
So now in retrospect, you look at it differently, from a different lens.
100%.
Because, like you said, 20 million is not a big number. Huh?
20 million is a big number.
Oh, I just saw something when you talked about it. Don't worry. So, but now in retrospect, that's not a big number. Like, you don't feel like at the time it was big to you. You felt like, did you feel like the relationship that he had with Skane?
And listen, again, I'm super young in that moment. I wasn't in the studio when they had the conversation. I knew that they had some type of relationship. It was a Just Blaze beat, and I was green behind the ears. I mean, I just thought that it would get done. I didn't know anything about the business and how things like that are supposed to go. That was part of the course. It was like normal. Oh, this is what you want? Yo, because you my man, I'm having this conversation. Otherwise, I wouldn't even have this talk about no new artist with nobody. But since it's you, 250. It was big to me because it was unattainable. Like it was outside of my budget. But the blessing was that he gave a number. If there was a way to get it, maybe this gets done. Maybe the start of your career goes different if you can find that money. But no, we didn't have that. You
were upset about, you at the time you were offended, and then you said some choice words.
No, yes. Well, I let Webb and them niggas put a battery in my back. And I was a young, hungry rapper. So that's
don't blame the family.
I'm not blaming, I'm just saying.
Don't say that.
Webb was charged up.
Oh, chill.
Webb got me charged up.
He got away. What the call? He got away.
Webb has a way of getting niggas charged up.
He does.
And he charged me up, and it didn't take much. So let me be accountable in the situation. And I wanted to rap, but I was still coming from. Remember, I'm coming from ciphers and battling and shit like that. So now I'm thinking, same shit. It's rap time. It's battle time. I thought that's what the niggas did over here. But no. I mean, it worked, though.
It did.
I got my remix.
Give me that beat, fool. It's a full-time Jack move. Did you like what he said on that?
Loved it.
Hot, right?
Went crazy.
And this is the second question because I asked...
The Michael Jordan, the rap recording. Yeah, he went crazy on there.
Holy baby. Matter of fact,
who's the nicest, life or lifeless on his mic device? He went crazy on there.
Let me ask you a question though. If somebody like that, right, jumps on the record and you don't like the verse, would you tell him?
Well, no.
No.
What jumps? It's all right. Wait, jumped on my record or just jumped on the beat?
No, like all right.
Because if the instrumental is out and you are
no, instrumental different. I'm talking about the record's out, remix now. He's
on an official remix.
And there's he sends you a verse.
Oh no. Yeah, you tell him.
Someone like Jay-Z at the time. Well, still now,
no.
it's still Jay-Z.
No, he could have farted on that shit and it would have worked. That didn't matter.
I ain't talking about nobody in particular. Woo-hoo!
Yo, whose side was you on? Shit, nigga.
I
This nigga over there whistling. This nigga over there, what the fuck is going on?
But you could have said that.
You could tell you wasn't around.
Are you crazy? You could have. I was there. You could have said that in front of them, but it still was hot listening to it as an adult.
No, it was. I'm talking shit. It was.
I could have said that in front of them.
It was.
Though. I couldn't have said that in front of Webb and them.
That's what I'm saying.
They was too like what? It was too. It was a lot. And then being, yeah. So.
Good old days.
The second question I asked, if you wanted to know what I asked Kane, I said, somebody had mentioned, he said, I just had this conversation, Flip. I said, do you feel that Jay could have done more when he became the president for Joe? And I asked him, I said, do you feel that he could have done more to to push him and to push his album or done more for him as an artist? And Skane said, I just had this conversation. And his reason was, he said no, because when I was able to get Jay on the phone, and he said that having that relationship, like Jay would pick up on like anybody that Jay called would pick up on the first ring, and he had that rapport. He said he got Jay he wanted Timbaland to get a beat for Joe, and Timbaland was acting, at the time, and he said he called Jay and Jay made it happen. But I asked him, I said, do you think that anybody else sees it like that? And he said, some people may, but he said he didn't feel that way. So that question is to you. Do you feel like Jay, when he became president, could have done more for you, for you as an artist, No. Or you really feel, you see it the same way as
are you asking me this today or how I felt back then in the moment?
I know how you felt back then.
Oh, okay. No, I don't feel like that today.
Yeah, because today,
today
you got a lot of money now.
Today I understand his disposition.
What do you mean? Explain it.
Well, what other black rapper became the president of a label anywhere? Anywhere.
And he was still an artist?
It was him. And he was still an artist. He had to manage the label, manage his own shit, his own businesses that he had going on. Like the spot that he was in then, that was self-centered, or again, more ignorance, just not knowing, only looking at it from my perspective and my eyes. And yeah, that's wrong.
But you was mad when you were younger. Younger, you were upset. You were offended. You felt like more could have been done. Younger you.
Yeah, but saying that needs to be inward.
Got it.
It didn't need to be outward. Before that's ever towards somebody else, you got to make sure your bases is covered and you covering them. And that's not what was happening back then. What reason did I have to feel like I should get a release date before the label thinks I should get a release date? In that moment, it's not like I had a Fetty Wap year in 2016 where I got all these records running and hey, put me the fuck out. Like, that's not what was happening. So, nah. And yeah, I remember the sessions where it was Timbaland, it was Hov. Like, there were times where, like, I remember there being a segment where we was trying to really get this album done and completed, and who knows why it didn't happen, but that's the music business. I don't feel like that.
But you don't. I don't really agree with you.
What'd you say?
I can't tell you how to feel, but I know you feel. I know that you're a man that thinks. You had to think something back in the day.
I didn't know anything back in the day.
Got it.
And when you don't know enough, all there is to do is feel.
Assume.
Is feel.
Yeah.
It's to just be sensitive to things, be reactionary to things. If you don't know.
But now that
I didn't know. I didn't know shit about shit.
Now that you became in the business and you became successful and you see things from a different scope, you're able to understand things better.
1,000%.
That's a part of growth.
1,000%.
But at the time, it wasn't that. I remember hearing about it.
He did diss records against Def Jam.
He did. Shake was bugged out. Yeah. Shake your head, nigga. Yeah. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
And you should have been charged a fee like they was charging Dipset anytime that they dissed them. You should have been charged.
I don't know anything about that.
Of course you don't. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Do that smooth stuff. You should have been charged a fee.
The funny thing about that, though, is I went to record a bunch of joints with Rodney Jerkins, Dark Child, and that CD or those files got leaked somehow amongst DJs, and a DJ named that record Def Jam Diss. I didn't purposely say, hey, this is a Def Jam Diss. That was just more ventilation type shit for me, more therapeutic type shit. Gotcha. But when it went out titled that way, that's what it was.
And you stood on it.
What?
Were you proud of that?
Proud of what?
The work, the music, and were you proud of that? Like, did you stand on it being called a Def? You didn't go against it. You didn't say, nah, it's not a Def Jam. It's not a Def Jam.
Well, I don't think I was on the greatest of terms in my own brain with Def Jam. Again, more just idiocy, right? True. Because who was paying for me to be out there with Dark Child trying to come up with records?
Yeah, ignorance.
A lot of it was just emotional and lack of understanding, man. Not to say that there weren't valid points at some point, but not enough for some of that shit that went on back then.
I'm thinking about it now. Your first album, not Joe back then, Joe now. Why do you think your first album didn't sell as much as you think it should have sold?
Well, what do you mean? As much as I think it should have sold? How much do I think it should have sold? It sold what it was supposed to sell.
Why do you answer questions?
Do you hear what? Because I'm a words mean things. He just said to your first album, why do you think it didn't sell what you thought it would sell? Well, nigga, who said how I thought it would sell? I don't understand that.
Schematical. It's like, why?
But
we all know when the rappers come.
What it was supposed to sell is my answer today.
So you comfortable with the numbers that it was at that time? We're pumping up being on there, and
at the time I didn't know shit.
Pump It Up reached to number 38.
I didn't know shit. So what was I basing my expectations upon? I certainly wasn't running around checking BDS, asking how many stores we shipped to. Like I wasn't doing that. So what was I basing my expectations on? The cars playing my shit outside, or the 5 o'clock free rush hour shit enough was on. Like, where am I getting that from?
Round of applause for this man and his growth. Round of applause. Yeah. I'm proud of you, but stop that round of applause.
Now.
Oh, let me say this.
What I will say
Let me say this.
Pardon me. Stop. We can't talk at the same time, Flip. Let me just say this and finish this question, and then you could go. How come only you could be long-winded?
True.
Now, the Too Fast and Too Furious soundtrack dropped a week before my album, and Pump It Up was also the lead single for that album. And that album, if I'm not mistaken, did 350 week one. So if there were ever a time where I would have wondered, hey, what would it have done? I would put separation between those two projects. And maybe I wouldn't allow for my single to be the lead single of a soundtrack. If that helps your question.
Makes sense.
Ready? I can speak now? Good job, G. I like that. So, let me ask you a question. My man was making his assumption. I got him. Because we all know in the beginning stages, an artist's dream, not saying it was yours, but we would assume an artist's dreams is to sell a lot of records. So that's where he came up with his assumption from. But we can't take, because
that would be an assumption.
Yeah, well, you didn't think that deep. That's what you're saying. You didn't think about selling
Why
records.
Why is that thinking deep? That could be a real shallow thought. Y'all want to sell records. Anybody can have that thought. A 9-year-old can have that thought. Why is that a deep thought?
I'm not answering that question. I'm not doing any reverse question. I'm not doing this with you.
All right, so I'll just talk. That wasn't a deep thought at all. So when people ask me, hey, how do I get on? My question to them is, well, what do you do this for? Everybody don't do it for the same things. So different answers different answers to that gives a different response. For me, when I signed, I wanted to be the illest nigga. I wanted to be respected amongst the people I respected. Again, I'm coming from ciphers. That was the goal in ciphers, to be respected for your skill set. So I was coming in with that mindset. When I signed my name, I didn't have a rap name. My name is Joe Budden because my contract came and they was calling me Mouse in the streets. And that couldn't be a rap name because Webb said, what the fuck are you talking about? So what do you sign here? All right, you sign your name. I wasn't on, it's time to sell records, scrub your history. Like today when you get on, there's a package that they do for girls and guys. Like they have like a rapper starter kit that they put you through. There wasn't none of that back then.
When did you realize that, because you're nice. We all know you're lyrical and you're nice. A lot of people like you.
No, I'm nice.
You nice. Okay, yes.
I'm nice now. I'm not nice.
You are nice.
I'm like nice.
When did you have to realize you had to take a break from music?
I never took a break from music.
Sure?
Well, no, I retired. I never took a break in music. Ever. Not 1 year did I take off. If there was some type of tally amongst rappers that have spit the most bars in their career, I'm positive I would be in the top 10. I never took a vacation. I never took time for myself, for self-care.
Got it.
Like, I was rapping to live. I was rapping to survive. At that point, it was just about making it to the next day, to the next month, to the next year. There wasn't a plan set. There wasn't generational information passed down that let me know what I should do in the event that I bumped into a large sum of money. There were things that were absent for me. So, yeah, the only thought you could have is, hey, I want to rap better than people.
You said you didn't think Stack Bundles was nice in the beginning.
Not when we first met.
Why not?
Because he wasn't nice when we first met.
Stop touching. When you first met, he wasn't nice.
No.
How was he rapping? Fast? Was that his high-pitched voice?
It wasn't a lot of breath control. I'm talking about technical stuff. Wasn't a lot of breath control. Didn't really let the dope line breathe. Just had a lot of, he was new. He was raw. He was a raw, fresh talent. And Desert Storm was known for spitters, at least to me. So my question was, what's your vision with this gentleman? I didn't see it, but Stack rapidly improved, fast.
How did you think that happened?
Quickly.
How do you think something like that happened?
Exposure. He was now exposed to different things, different rappers, different ways of doing things. He was a sponge. He could look at something and implement it. He had questions. Like, he wanted to learn. He wanted to, he never lost that. The ability to want to learn and ask and be intuitive. That's what he was. So that was probably a large reason for his advancement throughout the years. Like, he got better faster than I am used to seeing people get better. Like, I was a fan quickly. Like, I wanted to rhyme with him quickly.
Did you have that conversation with him?
Yeah. I had that talk with him. Stack was very competitive.
He was?
He was very competitive. Stack would diss me on the song. Like, and call me and tell me. Yo, I sent one at you, man. I don't know, I just got that. He had that. That, you know, when rappers are in the studio together, that it's time to lay the verse shit. That The rappers know what I'm talking about. He had that itch and it was showcased a lot.
At the time that the Storm had like the 18, right?
Rest in peace, Stack, by the way. Yes, my guy.
Peace.
Yeah, rest in peace, Stack Bundles.
I don't like doing interviews with all these rest in pieces, man.
Now, we said a lot today. This is probably the most.
I mean, there's a lot of death. There's a lot of death. Stark reminder when you got to sit here and say rest in peace behind every single name that you say. That's sad. You were saying?
You say him was 18 and all that. Before you go to that though, I know there's a record you did for Stack on your joint.
Send him my love.
Talk about that, like
Moon Music 3.
How'd you feel when you heard the news about Stack and like what really?
I felt horrible. I cried. It was dark times, real bad, really bad morning. Really bad morning for me. Real bad process writing that song, recording that song, releasing that song. But I felt like I owed it to him.
Right.
I felt like I owed it to him. That was my guy.
I definitely felt that through playing it. You know what I'm saying? Listen to the words. I felt that compassion for him.
Yeah, because by the time he passed, I was now acting as more like a mentorship role for Stack. And not that I was smart enough to mentor anybody, but I guess creatively, you just call with questions. Hey, should I do this? Should I do that? I'm thinking about this. You run ideas by. So our relationship had really, really grown at the time of his death. At that time, we was both outside. It's 27th Street with every club in the world. So now you just bump into niggas while you outside. It's cafeteria. It's Chelsea Diner. Like y'all remember that New York.
That basketball spot right there.
Maybe some of y'all.
Cafeteria.
But yeah, it's that. So.
Did you like Fab at the time as well?
What do you mean?
At the time, did you? I mean, you like him that much?
I mean, these are different times we talking about.
Fab.
Stack and Fab, different times.
No, he was around at that time.
Of course, but my introduction to Fab is 01. But we talking about Stack.
We now talking about 5. Yeah. So what I'm saying, but it's still, you get the correlation. I guess the time, like, because now you became,
I've always felt like I was indebted to Fab. Like I owed Fab. I quickly got an understanding of at least how the mixtape shit worked with Clue shit. That was an achievement to be on Clue. Fab is Clue's artist. They was trying to break him at the time. That's their artist. So yeah, that was a big deal when Fab showed up to do that freestyle, or when he did that freestyle. Because Fab was Fab by then, or well on his way to being Fab. He had the streets on fire. That was a solid and a huge one. To this day, anytime I've ever called Fab for a verse, he just gave me the verse. Like, that's a blessing to have that. So my intro to Fab was different, is what I'm saying.
I understand. I'm just saying, and I didn't mean, because, you.
I've never had disdain or dislike for Fab ever.
I don't think you did.
Career.
No, I'm just saying, I was going through, I don't think you did. You were very vocal about how you felt, Stack was. So I'm saying that, at the time when you met Fab was in the beginning stages, but Fab probably already had, like at the time you met him, he was.
Well, Fab is Street Fam, Desert Storm at the time. I'm on top. They're trying to break him. They're trying to break me. He clearly is first. Skane is my manager. Skane's my A&R. Skane is Clue's manager. Like, this is a family thing now. But on the artist side, again, Fab and I were distant. Like, he's in Brooklyn, I'm in Queens. Like, well, he was in Queens, but you know what I'm saying. It's it's different paths.
I understand. You because I wanted to change it because you got making me a little sad when you talk about Stack, man. You know what I'm saying? Dark times, because it was. Remember where I was when I heard the message, when I got the cold as well. You know what I'm saying? So, these, when you close to somebody and you seeing them, I just spoke to Stack the day before he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with Chinks. I saw Chinks not the day before, but 2 days before. I saw Chinks the Monday, him and Dirk in Queens. I just hugged him and Janelli. I saw them and I remember it. So, you know what I mean? That's why I tried to, You know what I'm saying? So rest in peace.
Same with Chinks for me too. Rest in peace, Chinks.
Yeah.
Both of those are real eerie stories for me because I was fly with both of them. But like for Stack, like I talked about the strip with all the clubs, like he left the club, went home, shit happened over there. With Chinks, he's at our spot that we always at. Like that could, anytime there's a death in hip hop, I put myself there. Like that could always be you.
Right.
That could be anybody leaving the spot that we at every fucking week. And niggas tell you, and now shit just, unfortunate. Both young, both right about to pop. Like, Chink's Body is still one of my favorite songs, just to this day, to play. But yeah, Dope House, like, they was about to, that's what's fucked up. That's what's fucked up. Because Chinks was supposed to be able to hear how Dope House and Body was ringing off. And he didn't get to hear it. Stack was supposed to be able to be outside and hear how the generation that he best fit in was on the way. He should have been there for that. Whatever.
Fast forward. Let's move. Just a couple of questions I have for you, and I'm going to be jumping around. So please use your expertise and hone me in as your friend, because you consider me a friend.
Have a blast.
Don't disrespect my couch again. Don't disrespect my couch. It's still comfortable.
I'm glued to this motherfucker.
Stop it. So.
Go ahead and look at your little notes, nigga.
No.
It's so great being a podcaster doing podcasts.
It's in my mind, but I want to see.
It's so dope.
Man, shut your ass up, man.
Get your shit off.
I just want to see where I want to go with this.
Go ahead.
All right, so don't rush me.
It only been 2 hours.
No. So, you joined Love and Hip Hop.
Joined like it's a gang.
That's why I don't want to say it.
Oh my God.
Yeah. You tell us about it. Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. I joined Love and Hip Hop.
Why?
Why?
Z. Yes, why?
At the time, my first stint, I figure I had already introduced my relationship to the public via YouTube, via short clips. I figured that Love and Hip Hop would be an advancement of that, like another extension of that, if you're asking my thought process at the time.
Did you like it?
What, the experience?
Yeah. Did you like Love and Hip Hop? You know, some people leave there, they don't like it.
Oh, no, not me. I'm not mad at Love and Hip Hop at all.
You had an issue on Love and Hip Hop, a couple of issues.
No, I didn't.
You didn't have any issues?
I never had an issue on Love and Hip Hop. I don't know what Google report y'all read.
Well, let me remind you. You had a misunderstanding with a brother named Consequence. Do you remember that? Didn't Love and Hip Hop? Did you forget that?
That wasn't a Love and Hip Hop issue.
But it wasn't a Love. So
that wasn't a Love and Hip Hop issue at all, man. I don't really think it was an issue at all. But okay, I see where you're going.
But don't tell me I hate this. Don't do that.
Because it didn't. When you say issue, right? Let me just clarify so people don't say I'm talking in riddles. When you say issue, right? Love and Hip Hop, the storylines and the premise of the show is based on issues. So niggas have had fights, niggas have thrown glasses, niggas have pulled hair, niggas have went to see people. Like, so when you say issue, I'm thinking it's either that or some relationship shit. That's the premise of the show. The Consequence shit didn't start on Love and Hip Hop. We had no scene, story. Like, that was niggas home, and now he's doing an interview for some other shit, and he say something, and I just happen to be home and hear it. And then we in the interview streets, like, not the street, but that circuit. So I think he had an interview with Ebro, and I had an interview with Ebro, and he was finishing, and I was coming in, and I just asked him about an interview where I heard him say some disparaging things.
Why do you approach people in a way where you start to speak soft and, you know, like you have this thing. Because I watched that. I remember he was standing there. He was talking very soft and calm. You was in control. Is that a tactic or that's just how you are?
I wasn't.
I mean, it's
The
like
only thing I'm in control of in that moment is me.
but it's like a
Right, that wasn't-
manipulation type of Games of Thrones type in your mind tactic. It is. It's slick and scary. Like when you got hit. Oh, like that's scary shit. What are you doing?
At no,
I don't want to show no emotions type shit.
at no juncture in my career have I ever tried to come off as scary, threatening, tough.
Why did you talk to him like
violent.
that? What
I'm calm, Flip. If you ask me why I talk calm, I'm calm. I know people don't get that because on camera it's amplified, it's theatrics, it's the on switch goes on. Y'all did it, you understand it. It's the on switch. But in real life, I'm calm. I talk calm like that. I can argue with my girl and talk calm like that. Like,
But what do they call that, Joe? You're smart. It's something that they call that when somebody
it's calm.
It's calm, but it also falls in the line of other things. Can you help me? I know you have the
You're
mental
trying to say I'm
capacity.
calm in moments where it seems like I should not be calm. That's what you're trying
Well,
to say.
that's your choice to be calm, right? You're in control of who what it is. But a lot of people tend to get aggravated the moment somebody's calm.
I can't get aggravated over things that are minuscule because my how do I say this? Me agitated or aggravated or angry is not showing up as my best self. So I try to limit the amount of things that get me like that. And we black people, so high blood pressure, it's a thing. Stress, it's a thing. Those things are true. So in real life, people try to prod at me to get like feelings and emotions out because I try to be even keeled, like just really calm and zen-like.
So why do people consider you, or like this? Again, this is stuff online, but people were saying I heard videos and so. Why do people consider you an asshole?
Videos, clips, how were you introduced to me? And I might have been an asshole.
Okay.
I maybe am still an asshole. Like, I don't want to discredit what people say, but how were they introduced to me? Like, the people that say that, I don't really feel like they know me. You saw me on Love and Hip Hop. You saw me in the street and asked for a picture or autograph when you shouldn't have, in the courthouse or some bullshit like that, in a strip club, something weird. Internet blogs with no understanding of how those blogs work and the way that they depict black men on those blogs and how people monetize trauma and emotions and try to stir those things up. These things are real things, but if you don't know any of that and you just see Joe Budden for 20 years over the internet, yeah, I wouldn't expect your view of me to be the greatest. The people that know me, like, I got relationships in this business for 20 years. People that have gone from here to here to here to here, just moved all over, and you keep in touch with, you stay fly with. Like, nah, I'm great in real life. I'm a beacon of light.
So,
A thought leader in the space.
but that happened, right? And I didn't like it. I remember being,
What happened?
But I'm going back to what I was talking about.
Consequence.
Yes.
What happened?
Well, what I saw is that you see a video where you approached him and he was talking, and then on Love and Hip Hop he hit you from behind.
Yeah.
Now that was real, right? Because
He really did that.
a lot of scenes are put together, but
No, he really did that.
He really did that.
He really did that.
And that was all because of what was he offended by? Because he said something about you. You heard it and you asked him about it.
You would have to ask him.
Okay.
Like, it would be chatty patty of me to try to speak, and my memory is bad, so
Respect.
I can't speak for what he was angry at in that moment.
Got it.
But he was angry at something.
Did you guys ever speak after?
We spoke after that.
Oh, you did.
Well, we spoke immediately after that. They put us in 2 chairs and now had this whole new topic on the reunion of Love and Hip Hop. And that's when I said to him, you're not going to leave this building without me seeing about you. And then he said, let's go in the bathroom. And then we went downstairs and we spoke. And then that was that. And then I saw him again at the strip club Starlets a few years later, and we spoke again, and that was that.
Okay. Because you do have a way about you. I'm just saying, you have a way of upsetting people. So I just want to know
if
you took accountability.
It's true, yo.
Do something. You do.
It's true.
I know.
No, it's dead ass.
See,
but I didn't know. Other niggas knew. I had no idea. Yo. Royce had to tell me that about myself. Like, yo, you have a way. Like, somebody could say something, but if you say something, I'm noticing you get emotion out of niggas when you just have a talent, a knack at that shit. I got it, and it's true.
What does condescending mean?
I don't.
Come on, Joe, man. Just tell me what it means. You should know. There you go. See, look,
Put the leg up.
Yeah, watch. Very good at what he does.
The leg up.
Well, I mean, I'm doing what anybody could do when they want the definition of a word.
I should have looked it up. You see, that was that could have been taken as a shot towards me. Do you acknowledge that your shot towards me was kind of rude?
Condescending, showing or implying a usually patronizing descent from dignity or superiority. Now, you were saying.
Do you feel that you're condescending?
No.
No.
I'm not superior to anything in any sense of the word. I don't speak from an elevated place. I don't speak down to people. I don't speak at people. Like,
so if anybody felt that way, it'll be their own insecurities.
I can't say that. I can't speak for other people. We would have to have a conversation. But if you're asking me how I feel about me, no, I do not think I'm condescending on a regular basis. Now, have I been? Do I have the ability to be? Of course. But that's not who I am at my core, nor will I allow you to misrepresent me or paint me with that brush.
What? Excuse me? I'm not trying to misrepresent. Hey, brother. Don't do that. Don't try to reverse it on me. Don't do that. I'm not. You see, that's good. You see, that was a trick, though. Look what you did. I asked you a simple question.
And I answered it.
You answered it, but then you added a clause to it. You added something at the end of it.
Yeah, I have a functioning brain. It works. So if I have a thought, I can share it with you. That's what that was.
So you see my angle. Basically, without calling you condescending, I tried to lead you into reading the definition and seeing if you can acknowledge that some of your ways may be condescending. So what you did was...
I'm open to that.
What you did was you caught on quick because you're smart. No, take the quotation. No, you are. You're intelligent, so you caught on quick and you were able to reverse it. And said, I will not allow you to paint me in that way. Meaning that if, let's say, I felt you was condescending, it would be only on me and you would not acknowledge that you are.
Well, that's also an option. It could be on you. The same way it could be me that's condescending. Can't change it on one side.
Oh, man.
You know, earlier we touched on it and stuff like that, and you walked out. We talked about you walking out on tax and walking out on interviews, and, you know, you acknowledged that earlier. But that's another thing that I saw that stuck out to me. The way you talk, the way how people may feel. You speak very, and it could come off condescending in a way, not to you, but you speak very like low monotone. You make a person feel like, what is it like? Not, you don't say what do I do, but you be like, you know, you make them feel. You don't answer the question, like even when Tax was asking you a question, you was just not answering this question directly at the time. It could come off as a tactic. You know how to get under people's skin. You do. Watch, I'm a person that get under people's skin.
Or you know how to avoid a question.
But there's a way to avoid a question by just saying I don't want to answer it.
Then you didn't avoid a question.
Stop apologizing to me, man. That's rude.
I'm sorry.
Why you doing that? Like, why you doing that? That's rude. Why did you do that?
Go ahead, man. Stop. Go ahead, Flip. Stop.
That hurt my feelings.
But it's the truth. If I got to say to any question, yo, I'm not answering that, then I didn't avoid it. I just told you, hey, I don't want to talk about it. It's like when the publicists come in with the list of shit that you can't speak about.
Do you Have you ever spoke to him after that? I know we know where he at now, but have you spoke?
Consequence?
No, not Consequence. Tax Tone. Have you ever spoke to him after that?
Yeah, I spoke to Tax a bunch after that.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I spoke to Tax a day before he got arrested. We was both at SOBs.
I spoke to him 2 days ago. And you guys came up with an
I
understanding.
thought that story was fake when he got arrested. Like, I just seen this guy.
You thought it was fake, a fake story as far as the whole situation that happened?
No, just in terms of how he was arrested. The final time.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Go ahead.
You said something about Vlad, and I wrote it today. And this is something that I want to mind wrestle with you about. Pause.
Why?
Because I just want to find a flaw, okay?
Man, mad flawed.
No, but don't let me find it myself and let me feel accomplished. You said, and I quote, Vlad provokes and antagonizes situations between black men that know each other. Right? That's what you said. You was explaining, right? But can we really, and I'm not saying that you did this, can we really get mad at Vlad when our people are going up there to...
Yes.
We can still get mad at him. Or no? Like, can we get
Yes,
mad at
we
Vlad
can.
when our people are going up there to tell their stories when they're using it? Like, how can we really get mad at him and not blame our own people? How can we accuse him of instigating?
Oh, see, you talking about some camera shit and interview shit. I'm talking about who I have known him to be in real life.
Okay,
and how
so
he has behaved in real life in the past.
got it.
I've removed myself from knowing anything about how he behaves today. But in the past, yes, that has been consistent for him.
But you're not referring to interviewing. Was it referring to interviews, right? Or you talking about in person? You talking about instigating in?
That's what I was referring to at the time of the quote.
Got it.
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I thought you was
But
talking
media
about
can you do know that is. Oh, how do we want to do this? You do know that is media, right? It's conditioning. It's brainwashing. It's the spreading of messages and narratives. That is media from the beginning of media. I say that to say you can 100% use media to divide. It is a divisive tool. So I want to rid the scapegoat of, hey, he's just doing an interview. No, everybody's not just doing an interview.
Of course. At the same time,
Plenty of people come sit with me and say things that maybe they shouldn't say. And I edit it, or I won't allow it to go out, or I'll try to stop them from saying it. I'll do something to interject and try to protect the sanctity.
Got it.
There are interviews that go that way. I've never done an interview where I am trying to get some shit like that out of the person that I want to feel comfortable. So I've never done that. I can't speak for how other people.
So what do you mean try? So is that not his job?
Stop it, man. Because you're doing this, and there's literally ties to Vlad being a Fed or talking to Feds.
But we're talking about that's slick though what you just did. You
it's not.
intertwined it because I'm talking about one specific thing that you said that stuck out to me, and you didn't hold the people accountable that talked about it. That's what I'm sticking on. I'm not talking about when he told on Rick Ross and suing people. I'm not talking about that. We know that.
Oh, neither was I.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about, do we hold the people accountable that's going up there telling the story? We can't always make it, not saying you doing it, but I've seen other people when they describe this man, they're more mad at him instead of the people that's talking about the stories. Whether they get paid or not, they sold their soul to do it. When do we hold them accountable?
You are conflating things. I see what you're doing. Okay.
Can you unconflate it for me?
For the record, again, that statement didn't have nothing to do with how he conducts his interview.
And you did tell me that.
Now, you want to know how I feel about people that just go up there and spill the beans
Yes,
on
I do.
his platform or any platform? They should be held accountable for the things they say on public platforms.
So you feel like a platform should not be provided? So you
I
could,
feel like everybody has to be accountable for what comes out of their mouth.
and I respect that.
Words
I agree.
are spells and vibrations and energy, and they attract things and they can unattract things. Words are very powerful. I stand by that. So, period. Before you introduce a Vlad, everybody should be accountable for their words.
Okay.
Facts. I agree.
Do you think like the titles and stuff being phrased a certain way and things being put out?
And he needs to be accountable for how he goes about his style of interviewing. That's on him.
Well, let me
That's
say
his
this.
business.
And the reason why I say that I'm so defensive, not for that. Rest in peace to K Slay.
Rest in peace, Slay.
K Slay would not come on Flip the Script because he said that I have instigated a lot of things, right? That's what he told me. He said, man, you get things up, but man, you brought Sub-Zero up there. You let him talk about Fendi. You started it all over again. The thing with Mano and the guy, and I'm just like, okay, hold on, Slay. Like, these are stories that I know I'm asking, and I'm pretty sure people know about it. I do take accountability. I can see it, but it's not like I'm interviewing both parties. The difference with me is that if I interview, Mano had an issue with a guy.
I don't care.
No, I know you don't care. Can I tell you?
But don't tell me.
Oh, don't tell you a story. Okay. It's not a real life issue. I'm just talking about.
I don't care.
But let me finish the story.
No, tell it to somebody else.
Okay, but you understand what I'm saying.
I think I know where you're going. See, that's why I try to stay out of all of that type of shit.
Yes. So what I'm saying is that Kay was saying that, and don't interrupt me like that, but Kay was saying that I am an instigator. And I wanted to say that when you ask questions, you're not necessarily instigating. I feel like instigating would be having both people up there one after another and then going back and forth. That's how I look at it.
There's a million different ways to instigate something.
Okay, all right.
You just described one of them. But there are other ways to instigate something.
Got it.
Slay could be absolutely right.
Rest in
in
peace.
saying some of the things that you have done, rest in peace, some of the things that you have done has instigated something for me. He's speaking from his perspective and the part that he plays in the situation is unbeknownst to you. He's speaking as somebody in the game.
He was right, though. He was right, but
He
that's
can
not
say,
the,
he
but
can say that.
He was right. But that wasn't my intention.
Well, yeah, but it's excuses or results. So, I mean, homeless people didn't intend to be homeless. Like,
Excuses are also the tools for the weak and incompetent.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm trying to outsmart you. But that wasn't
I'm not in like a smart competition.
It just wasn't my intention. Can you understand?
I left school in the 10th grade.
You don't do stuff like that. And that's why you
I don't do none of that,
yeah,
yo.
you don't do it. And you're honorable in that way. Some people want to know the story. Some people want to know the details. Some people, that's just how some people are.
Yeah, but everybody got to go to bed with how they make their living at night. So, I mean, it's not for me. That's for everybody to not even discuss, but sit with and go through on their own. And if you feel good about it, then, hey, hats off to you.
Nobody wants to be looked at as an instigator, Joe. Nobody
Not about
wants,
how you looked at.
No, I don't care. I mean, nobody wants to be.
What I'm talking about is inward.
Got it.
After that, we can get to what the world thinks about what we do. I'm talking about, do you sleep well when you go to bed at night with the decisions that you've made through the course of the day? I have made decisions where it was a tough night's sleep.
I agree.
Niggas have gone through breakups where it was a tough night's sleep.
I agree.
Everything that is in front of you, everything in your life, you attracted to your life. So if you can go to bed cool, go to bed cool. I rock with that. I don't talk about street shit really on my pod. I don't get into gang shit on my pod. When I have niggas up there and I might know something, I'm leaving it off. That ain't gonna get introduced here. Like, I'm talking to people I care about and want to protect. I'm not putting some clickbaity bullshit title to get views. I'm not atting niggas. I'm not doing none of that clown show shit these niggas have turned that into. That's me. It's also a position of privilege because I don't have to do that.
True.
So I can't look down on people doing that because everybody's not in the same boat. Some people gotta get that off.
When how I look at it, and I do agree, and there is, when that's not your intentions, and you're doing it just to, know something, and it leads off to that, it's bothersome because especially when you get older and you become more seasoned and people see you more, you don't want to be known as a person that's causing trouble. You don't want to be known as a person that's causing all these issues. You know what I mean? It does. You don't understand. You would, because you don't do that stuff, but you don't want to be known as that.
I don't do it because I know the value of life, and
That's true.
It's very inexpensive out here. You could die over absolutely nothing out here.
True.
So when you are aware of that, you try to move like that. And I've had a whole career of just like diarrhea of the mouth, right? So I've said shit about the toughest niggas in the world that I shouldn't have said nothing about, because who knew? I've said shit about this nigga that was connected over here. I've said shit about this nigga who was cousins with this nigga. You said shit about somebody who maybe died and somebody loves them. So now it's like, pardon me, but like you learn the power of words and what it can attract to you. And who the fuck wants to live like that? Not me. So I respect it. It's energy. Keep it, move it.
I appreciate that. I appreciate you telling me that. I'm going to go and reflect on these things, because hearing it from you was good.
I didn't say it for you to reflect, but awesome.
Yeah,
I don't care what you do. Why are you telling me?
Don't say you don't care what I do.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna
Don't
take
say
that and
that. That's
reflect.
rude.
You could have just ignored it, and I would
No,
have
but
been perfectly fine.
I'm acknowledging your words. Stop being rude.
I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
You have had. Sorry, G. Give me a second. You have had issues in diarrhea of the mouth in certain situations. But one thing about it is that you stood tall in your issues. The water's right there. You stood tall.
Always.
Have you regretted anything that you've done or any issues that transpired with anyone?
Not a one.
Not one.
Not a one.
It was a learning experience. How do you look at it?
Learn from every one of them. You live with regrets. You got to die with them. Everything that I experienced, my higher power wanted me to experience so I could pull something from it so I could do better the next time around. My God does that a lot. Really interesting sense of humor. He'll put me in the same exact situation that I fucked everything up in the very next year or the very next week or 2 years from now. It'll be mirror images of each other. Now, what you gonna do now? And it can't be the same. That's the Monopoly game for me.
Do you believe in culture vultures? Do you believe that's a thing?
No, that's the thing.
Can you explain to me the definition? Because I call myself a culture vulture, but people say I'm not. But this is something that I try to make light of. But can you tell me what your definition of a culture vulture is?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't want to.
Why you can't tell me what it is?
I can.
You choose not to.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Why?
Because why?
I want to know how you look at it.
Not important. I believe that is a real thing, and I believe they exist. Now, to get into what that is, that leaves shit up for too much interpretation by people who don't really even understand what the fuck this conversation is about. So it's like, I don't have the time.
But but it's good to teach. Good to teach. You may be teaching me something.
Well, but I mean, we can have this conversation
Off
anytime.
camera.
But in an interview, I'm not. Think what you want about a culture vulture.
Because you're a man that's, and I'll move on but you're a man that's in tune with oneself. You're a man that's in tune with the culture. You're very vocal. So I wanted to see your definition of it here from your mouth to my ears. But I do, we can have the conversation off camera, because I do want to know what you feel a culture vulture is, so you can open my eyes so I can be on the lookout.
Well, ain't Dame on record explaining what a culture vulture is?
His definition may be different from yours.
Not too much.
No.
Ain't too many different ways to interpret what he said.
Not too many different ways to interpret.
Not too many different ways to interpret.
There's only one way.
I said not too many different ways to interpret that.
Yeah.
Words mean things, yo.
They do. And that's why I'm learning. I'm learning from you. I want to thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm learning from you.
I appreciate you.
I feel like I seen a change in some things, and let me just say real quick, you know, 'cause I'm gonna wrap this up soon.
Get your shit off.
I've watched you on your podcast recently. Well, it came out a while. I saw it before, but I watched it again. When you, at the time, Rory and Maul was talking about Gilly and the guy with the whole studio thing and the guy that it was a subject that you were talking about and you gave your opinion on it. In retrospect, do you understand? I'm trying to connect the two. It may not be connected, but allow me to try. In retrospect, can you see or understand the situation with Gilly and the guy due to the fact that you later on went through issues of not financial issues, but differences with Rory and Maul? Do you understand what Gilly had the situation with that guy? You know what I'm saying? Where people feel like they owed something. Can you see it? Like, would you be able to understand him now since you went through that situation with your two guys?
Well, no, because I don't have any information about what Gilly went through in that situation. I don't know. I've never.
You talked about it. That's what I'm saying.
I spoke about something that was reported.
Okay. All right.
That's not written in
so
concrete.
You don't have the intricate details.
I haven't spoken to Gilly, Wallow, or the gentleman about anything. I just went with what was going on. So I can't say if I understand him. I don't know. I know I went through my shit, and I know that a lot of other podcasters out there have gone through their own version of that. There are parallels.
Of people feeling like they're owed
No, I can't speak. No. Just a mix-up of co-hosts, a change, abrupt change in how we move forward. I'm not talking about how people feel about things. I can't speak to that.
Can't speak to their feelings.
I'm only talking about action, having to replace a seat with another seat, or not. A redirect of my show. Not when I say my, I mean shows. That's happened a lot in podcast land. It
has.
Yeah.
You said on Math's podcast that you it was just in a certain amount of time that you guys would have separated. Are you speaking that from a truth, or was that just you being?
I'm saying I said that based on the information that was given, right? Like I wanted to implement salary when the contract was up. They both were against that, and I think they were on record saying that. So at some point, you would hit a crossroads.
But you see how I do it, and I'm gonna tell you why. You see, you're good, and I want to keep highlighting that. I want everybody to pay attention. On that same interview pertaining to those gentlemen that he, because you don't know the intricate details, the guy said he wanted a certain amount of percentage from Gilly and Wallow, and you commented on that. Then it comes...
Commented on what was reported.
Reported, yes. You didn't know the intricate details. You did not know specifics. You didn't. But then it's just crazy that you guys were talking about it, and it ended up people wanting... But you wanted to put salary, and I guess they didn't want the salary. So I thought that you would have said, you know what? I can see how things, that's what I thought that you would acknowledge that.
Acknowledge what?
That you can relate, like you can see, even though you reported on something that was, even though you spoke on something that was reported on, how you can relate to the situation. Just relation.
I don't. I don't want to repeat myself, but
okay.
I already explained to you why.
You already calm down.
I'm calm.
No. Yeah,
oh God! This fucking guy, yo.
Your tone went up. Your tone went up.
Okay, you got it.
You all calm. Do you ever wanna? Have you guys had a conversation, Rory and Mal? Do you ever wanna?
No.
Get back on good graces with them?
What's good graces?
Conversation basis. Like conversation.
If you're asking me if I would like to continue to evolve as a human every day and be a better version of myself tomorrow than I am today, then yes.
I didn't ask that.
You did.
I didn't ask that.
You did.
Do not reverse my words, man.
But that is what you asked me.
You are teaching me about...
You're asking me to see something. Can something exist in the future that doesn't exist today? And I want to continue to evolve into the person that would stand there and allow that versus what it is today. It's not harmonious today.
You acknowledge that the way that you spoke about that situation or handled it might have been wrong or out of emotion.
It was emotional.
Right? Cool. You also said in the podcast with them before that, you know, like it was emotional. I mean, let's
super emotional.
And then you were able to acknowledge your emotions. You're in tune. Are you in tune with your emotions?
Mm-hmm.
So you were able to acknowledge it. So I'm saying, in retrospect, let's use this word. Are you able to understand the angle that they were coming from and say that, you know what? Can you see yourself putting that behind you and having a conversation with them and being cordial with them?
Did you just ask the same question a different way again?
Very good. Yeah, I did. So?
What are you looking for in this? Give it to me.
I'm not looking for...
Did I not answer it?
You have, but you made it like about you and being growing up as a human. I'm not trying to... Come on, Joe, was me, man.
You're asking me if I understand where they were coming from?
Yes.
I feel like I've said this before. Of course I understand where they were coming from because I was coming from the same place. I think they wanted to be paid more. I wanted to be paid more too. So of course I understand somebody wanting to be paid more or wanting ownership in something. Like that's my profession. Why would I not understand that?
Got it. I can't. Oh, stop. Don't smile at me because it's like, don't do that. You're antagonizing me. Don't smile at me because you know what I'm asking, but you're making it in one. And we go back to the thing.
I'm trying to answer your question directly. I'm not trying to be cryptic.
But you are being cryptic.
I'm trying to answer.
Can you acknowledge your crypticity?
Okay. There's cryptocy.
Can you acknowledge it? Can you say, yo, Flip, you know, I see you.
Because what are you really asking me? Like, stop trying to Barbara Walters the question and like.
It's not about because.
And like, what is the question?
Because you're a man.
Yes, I understand where niggas came from. We're coming from.
Would you be cool with them again?
I don't know about that.
Okay, there you go.
I don't know about that one.
There you go.
I can't speak to that. I can't speak to that. I got blinders on. Like I'm tunnel vision, laser focused on where I'm trying to go. And in that, I need the least amount of distractions as possible. And that whole ordeal, not them as people, because I love them both still, but that whole ordeal and what came with it was a distraction from where I'm ultimately trying to go.
Have you apologized about your actions and how emotional you were? You apologized.
I apologized to the person I needed to apologize to.
Respect. I think that's good. And I think that
I think so too.
I think that is good, and I respect that.
I think so too.
I respect that.
We're gonna detour real quick because I seen a funny video online and I heard some of the story.
Fuck him, G. Fuck him.
No.
Fuck him. Man. He's good. I don't give it to him. Because you know, at the same time, he's teaching. I ain't gonna lie.
Well,
he's teaching. I'm learning.
He's doing what we asked the guests to do on the show.
Don't admit it, man.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
don't admit it.
I'm supposed to be
sweating my ass off over here.
Don't admit it.
I forgot I'm supposed to be on your side.
What do y'all ask the guests to do when they come? Because he didn't give me a list.
No. I was just saying, you know.
Explain the whole thing. Explain.
I was just saying you're doing what we asked the guests to do, like sit on the couch, answer questions that you that you need to answer. Don't say too much if you can't speak about it or if you don't want the backlash. That's why I was saying he's doing that, you know. But my bad. I know I'm supposed to.
What we prefer.
Yeah,
because
we prefer.
A lot of people.
We don't mind him talking because it's good for the show. But at the same time,
a lot of people have a complaint.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, he got Terry Woods mad. A lady named Terry Woods that wrote a book. He got him mad.
You
got him mad and made her delete the interview. You got him mad. You got Terry Woods mad.
But how? Ask him something.
He asked Terry Woods.
I don't want to know what he asked.
You know?
No.
Don't tell me that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
I don't.
Because you don't want to be in the midst of any gossip.
Got it. I've been on the other side of that, where you are home with your family or with your chick or eating breakfast, you home chilling. and then somebody that you don't have nothing to do with is asked a question that don't have nothing to do with them, and now they just in it. And you see when the host is manipulating something or getting something out of them or not protecting them in that moment, and you know how you feel at home in that moment. True. So I don't want to be if Terry Woods ain't like it when he said it, then I don't want to be around in case Terry Woods is home watching now.
I'm just saying he made us delete the interview. It's his fault.
You wanted to put me in the hot seat, right? You just
fuck you too, man. Fuck you and that nigga. I love y'all both, but fuck him.
Why?
He's good, because look how he talk. Don't.
But you know how people talk like that, right?
Don't do it.
You know how people talk like
Don't
that?
do it. Don't do it.
People who talk like that, they usually just one thing. I got to call on one thing.
Don't do it.
The people who talk like that. I wait the whole interview. I waited. It's almost over. We can't wait that long. Where's our first show back?
Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Do it.
G. Don't give it to him. Don't.
Do it. Do it. I'm not gonna walk out.
He cool, man. G, he not cool.
He not cool.
I waited for a while. I waited. He said some cool shit earlier. I waited.
You only give me cool because he got me.
Out of respect, I waited for you. I waited.
Man, I be chilling.
He be chilling.
I ain't on no. I'm not on nothing.
He's calm and everything, man.
Reverse, yeah, G.
Anyway, before I don't know how many questions you got left.
Oh yeah, one last one. But
one last one.
Yeah,
I saw a pretty funny story online. I wanted to hear it from you on our platform. You know, like you tell you probably told the story before, but you slept in bed with your manager.
that was funny. I didn't sleep in bed. With
I know, but that's what it said online. It's a funny story. That's why I was more.
That was some punk. Well, the story really happened, but my amazing storytelling ability just made it sound
right
a lot more egregious than it was. But I was definitely sleepwalking, and I definitely got in that bed, and he definitely got out. So we didn't sleep together. He slept on the couch in the living room.
That's a real thing.
But what a story. Yeah.
I've never seen nobody sleepwalk before.
Lucky you.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a real thing. You never had anybody talking in their sleep?
Talking in their sleep, yeah. I've seen people talking and moving and, like laughing or,
Nah, there's cases. People
I never seen nobody sleepwalk, though.
Oh, yeah. No, that's a real thing.
That was one of the
my final two questions. Do you take any accountability?
Yes.
Thank you. I watched, I spoke to you on live, you and Royce, about Slaughterhouse. And I know you talked about this 1,000 times. But I feel when you talk about it, and I listen to how you respond, and I hear you, and I have an opinion about you, I don't really feel that you take accountability. Let me tell you what I mean. I heard Royce, our brother Royce, say that Joe never said that he didn't want the deal. Or Joe never said this or Joe never said that. Which schematically, or which if you look into it, it'll be right. You didn't say it. But if you don't put any, in my opinion, by listening, if you don't give any answers or if you just say a statement and then go ghost, you're not really coming off as interested in the situation, so you leave people no other choice but to do what they have to do. So do you feel that you put 100?
It's the reverse of that Jay-Z Pump It Up remix. That's what just happened. You just described it yourself. It's just now Joe's on the other side of it. So it's not that I said no to a deal. No deal was presented. And if a deal were to be presented, the proper way to present it would not be you meeting up with me and giving it to me. That's not how I do business today.
Do you feel that you put 100% in the Slaughterhouse, Joe?
Yes.
Do you feel that at some point while in Slaughterhouse, you lost interest in Slaughterhouse?
No, I never lost interest in Slaughterhouse.
You don't take it? You don't feel
I only lost interest in our association with major label distribution. I was never uninterested in the group. I'm a co-creator of this group.
But did you ever feel like you didn't put as much percentage, meaning like as much?
I've said no a million times.
You didn't say no a million times. You said no once. Okay? You said no before.
Said I was always interested in Slaughterhouse. There's never been a time I was uninterested in Slaughterhouse. I'm a co-creator of the group. I was only uninterested with our association with major label distribution.
Do you think that the other people that were a part of Slaughterhouse or is a part of Slaughterhouse would agree with your statement, or you can't really speak for them because it's them?
I can't speak for them.
Of course, trickery. With
Yo,
words.
I don't put words. It's not trickery. It's very direct. I'm not putting words in other adult men's mouths. Pause. That's the problem. Too many niggas get podcasts or get on podcasts and start talking instead of calling a therapist and start talking, right? True. Like all these niggas is great rappers and amazing wordsmiths, but we can't have a conversation with another man about how you feel. I think that's weird.
True.
So will never speak for how somebody else feels, especially on some public platform. They did that. They did that on their platform. They did that on their project. They did that in spite of how anybody else would feel about it. So I hope that they felt better afterward, but I can't speak for them.
Is the friendship strained? Is the friendship, is it still a friendship there?
Yo, it's all a distraction, yo. Like, that's kind of my answer to a lot of these questions. Where I'm trying to go and what I'm trying to do.
Got it.
The devil put that there. You can get all worked up about that if you want, but it ain't gonna do nothing but not make you be the nigga that you need to be to get where you trying to go. And if you look at things like that, just every day, you'll start to see just how many distractions there are in your day that get you off of the course of what you're supposed to do. I go through and people think, and you know what? Maybe that's where some people, if they met me, would feel like I'm not condescending, but uninterested, stoic, distant, unapproachable, right? Because at every point of the day, there's something on my mind. So when my mom want to stop and talk to me about the Wendy Williams show or Judge Judy in the morning, that's your mom and you want to have those talks. But that's keeping you at a certain frequency. That's keeping your mind state here, and that's what it is. Wherever your mind state is, you'll only attract things that's on that level. Where I'm trying to go, I need to put all my energy into thinking at the highest level I could possibly think in so I can attract what's up there. And that ain't with the Slaughterhouse beef, the Rory and Maul beef. That ain't with some of this shit that these media smear campaigns have said about me, internet gossip, like all of that, the shade room shit, all of that shit, distraction. Somebody told me the only time you should, well, not somebody told me, but it's an old famous quote. The only time you should want to be in the newspaper is when you're born, when you're born, when you get a job, and when you die. I think those were the three. My memory is fucked up. Today, we just want to be seen and heard for just anything. I'm not cut like that. All that shit is a distraction. All of it. I'm on a rant, but that's the point.
So where is Joe going now?
I would never say publicly. They do nothing but try to sabotage you, hate on it, throw darts, blackball it, jump ahead of it, mimic it, copy it. Never that. Joe today is extremely clear on where I'm going. I see the path.
A part of healing is making amends with a lot of people.
Is this nigga back on amends? Yo, get me the fuck out of here, man. How much amends do you want to make?
I'm just saying, like, just take that from me. Part of healing is making amends. And being, and forgiving.
Is there someone you think I need to make amends with?
No. I mean, I was listening to Eminem. He said you hurt his feelings. But. Oh. Don't start your getting up shit.
Well, I'm not, but this is about over.
Yeah. No,
if you start talking,
no, I'm not. I'm just saying.
That's where you at then.
No, don't start your getting. I'm just saying. Making amends is a part of growing, and I've learned that as well. And I think that you become a better
And I don't
person.
have no beef with him, just to be clear. I don't have no beef with him. Like, I find out it's beef with niggas when niggas find a way to let me know that it's beef. I don't walk around with beef with anybody, him included. I wish him the best. He was nothing but kind to me. Like, I don't have an issue with him. That's internet shit.
Got it. All right. You see how I can do that?
Do what?
You thought that put it on your jacket and stuff, and like, you thought that was nice?
What do you mean?
We discussed this about your behavior doing that, about acting like we discussed this earlier.
I was just preparing.
We discussed it. We talked
It's
about.
only 200 degrees in here.
and we got all these lights and
Thank God I ain't got no makeup or Beijing on. That shit would be melting down my fucking face.
But I do appreciate, you answer my question. Because the last question I had as far as it was accountability, but you said you take accountability for everything that you do, and I respect that.
Every last thing.
I do think that you play with words and you move and you know how to speak and you know how to move through a room.
Thank the Lord. That's how I've taken care of myself and my family. So as a 10th grade dropout, you should have something that you're good at. That's a blessing. See, I don't let people do that today. Niggas will try to take your blessings and turn them into something else. No, that's a great thing what you just said. Don't mispaint me. Damn, had to unglue from this month. Shit. Oh, y'all making sure y'all ain't got no more? Go ahead. What up?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Can I text my driver?
I'm good.
All right.
But hold on, before you text your driver, we got to sign out still, man.
Go ahead. I still have to text my driver. He drives slow.
G, you have anything else to say to this man, G?
No, we good, man.
How many hours has it been, Bass? Nice. I want to thank you.
I want to thank you guys
for coming up here and, you tried to say earlier when you got him for a break that we were doing a good job. And he probably was just being nice, but, we tried.
No, I think y'all did a real good job.
Yeah.
Seriously. I wouldn't have even been this open and safe and warm if you
Did we
guys
make you
wouldn't-
comfortable, Joe?
Yeah. No, y'all did great. You had questions, you had notes, you had chemistry, you had camaraderie. Y'all great. Not that it matters what I think. I'm just telling you.
Do you feel that I have a tricky way? I mean, actually, you're ahead of the curve. I don't like that. I don't like that shit at all.
I'm always ahead
No,
of the curve,
I think I got
buddy.
you a little bit, but I don't like that shit at all. You good? And I'm going to watch this, and I'm gonna get you. You're good. You're good. And I can acknowledge that I've also learned. You also was teaching while being on the show. I seen something, and it made me want to look into it. You said, because usually before I used to interrupt a lot of stuff, and you were saying things, and was learning lessons, and I appreciate you as a friend.
Oh, I'm glad.
And that's honest
I
truth.
appreciate you. I love you.
I love you.
I love what y'all got going on, and I'm a phone call away whenever you need me.
Next time you come up here, I promise I'm gonna get you. That is my goal.
I ain't coming up here giving out no air. Y'all gonna have to figure out a solution.
We are. Go ahead, G. Shout out. Wait.
Shout out to our guest one time, man. Joe Budden coming through here. Appreciate you. Round of applause one time.
Hey, there we
Salutations.
go. There we go. Some applause.
Shout out to the whole team, man. Shout out to my brother DJ MU on his birthday. Happy birthday. Shout out my man Tiny in the building. Trust the process. Tati, Basco, the whole team. Make sure y'all follow the pages at Queenzflip with a Z, at DJG Money with Official on Instagram. The TikTok page too, going crazy. I don't know if you saw. All right. Follow the TikTok page for the Script Pod. Yeah, we out of here, man.
Yo, man, first and foremost, shout out to Buy His Will shirt, man. My wife, somebody from her job sent her this.
Oh, wow.
Yo, why does the guest have to sit through y'all's outro of the show?
It does.
That doesn't even make sense.
It does make sense.
He'll see it.
And don't interrupt me when I do my outro. That's rude. So my wife asked me to wear Buy His Will shirt, and somebody. Shout out to him.
Shout out to you.
Well, yeah. Shout out to Joe, learning experience. Shout out to the whole team. I like this interview. Good interview.
Yeah.
Shout out to my son Queenzflip Jr. in the building. Remember, lock your doors, close your windows, close your blinds, open your blinds. If you see a nigga like Joe on your lawn, put it away. He don't mean no harm. But don't let him in.
I'm not on none of you niggas' lawn.
But don't shut the fuck up with my outro.
About?
But don't let
Nigga, I'm
don't laugh. Don't laugh, nigga.
Lawn.
Yo, shut up,
What type
nigga.
of homeless bum you think I am?
Yo, if you see a nigga like Joe on your lawn, Put it away.
Don't shoot me if I'm on. Look at what the message you sending to people. Yo, if Joe is on your lawn, don't shoot him.
Put it away.
I gotta sit through this.
Shut up, nigga. Put it away. He don't mean no harm. But don't let him in, because he'll fucking talk to you all night long. I'm from Queens. Nigga, fuck you, man. You fucked up my shit, man.
Motherfucker. And don't let him in.
Don't let him in, because he...
Nigga on your grass and need help. But
I appreciate you, man.
My
One
man.
more time with Joe. Thank you, man, for coming through.